Satan is real, working in spirit. You can see him and hear him in this world every day. Satan is real, working with power. He can tempt you and lead you astray.
Well, my worn out boots are taking me downtown, and I'm looking for trouble, and I wanna get it loud. Serve me up a drink, and I'll shoot it right down, and I'll jump up on the bar and holler one more round. I'm going straight to hell. Ain't nothing slowing me down. I'm going straight to hell. So you just better give me one more round. Well, back in the day with my Uncle Jimmy, kept a lot of moonshine out in the shed. Taught me how to drink, how to be real proud of my hillbilly ways and my outlaw style. I'm going straight to hell. Ain't nothing slowing me down. I'm going straight to hell. So you just better give me one more round. Well, I'm racing these back roads trying to save my life, 'cause the sheriff wants to kill me 'cause I humped his wife. I was on the run with the gun in my hand, 'cause I liked a good time and a one-night stand. I'm going straight to hell. Ain't nothing slowing me down. I'm going straight to hell. So you just better give me one more round. Hell, you just better give me one more round.
All right. Straight to hell. You, me, and Hank 3. I'm Harry. To the left of me is Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
And we have got a week of wrestling to cover. We got some hitmen. We got some contracts. We got some seagulls. We got it all. But Tyson,
And
how
that's
you doing?
the first hour.
That's just the first hour.
I am doing good, as always. But I have to ask you that same question. 'Cause I've seen some stuff on the news that over there in the north, people are getting their pets eaten by Haitians.
Yeah, that's the state over. It doesn't affect me.
Oh, they can travel.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time for their bloodlust spreads across America.
Yeah. Stupid Haitians.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some wild stuff happening there.
Moving on to Haiti, let's go to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for Raw. Nice little segue.
There you go.
Our walkers are Drew McIntyre, Braun Breaker, The Agenda, and the Unholy Turds. So there's that. And we find out that Bret Hart will be here tonight. And that's exciting. But first, we have an 8-man street fight to get through. It's American Made versus the Wyatt Sucks. stupid video packages starts. Bo Dallas spoke gibberish. Gable did little big man tough talk. And the only positive thing was the song.
It was a pretty good song.
It was. So then the match starts. Cueto from Total Recall stands up to Gacy, Rowan, and Loomis. But then she proceeds to get her ass kicked by little Nikki Cross. So that was stupid. Dallas sat in a rocking chair pretending to be Bray Wyatt the entire time, of course. Total garbage match, trash cans, kendo sticks, bullshit. Rowan went through a table, got buried by shit. Only cool spot was when Rowan used the barricade as a weapon. Loomis leg dropped one of the Inbreed brothers through a table. Gacy was angle slammed through a table by Gable. Nikki Cross fucking German suplex Chad Gable, and I skipped the rest of
That was pretty much the end of it. Uncle Howdy got involved and hit Sister Abigail on one of the creeds, and then they did that assisted splash thing that'd be Loomis and Rowan did that assisted splash thing that they do, and that was the end of the match.
I just know little tiny ugly Nikki Cross German suplexed an Olympian.
Well, she got him from behind.
So
He didn't see it coming.
So
And of course, I always say, Bray Wyatt. Now, I do have some things that I want to that I do want to point out. I'm actually going to say some negatives here. Number one, I think I am officially off of the. I'm not a fan of the trash can kendo stick spot in any match because
it is kind of dumb.
It's stupid. Like, you're protecting. Basically, they had this big metal barrier around them. So I guess the only thing is like it's making a loud sound.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't like it. They can cover their ears and, and they probably do anyway. That's number one. Number two, there was a spot where it just looked ridiculous. So Gacy had a trash can on his head, and Gable, for some reason, ran into the trash can, and then he sold like he was doing an offensive move. He ran into the trash can, and then he sold being not injured, but being down. So it just looked ridiculous. And then he rolled out of the ring so that they can do whatever they were going to do. But on the positive, yes, that Rowan spot where he took the barricade and he was using it as a tackle sled. I did like that. Overall, I did like the match.
Of course you did.
Some minor, like, this is just outlandish. So yeah, let's go ahead and it just started. I know, but let's go ahead and retire the trash can kendo stick spot.
It was stupid. It was over the top, of course. The Wyatt sucks. Okay. Bray Wyatt, he was like invincible when he was those little characters. Now these motherfuckers are just wrestling, and they're not any good at it. And then you have Gable, who's been feuding with them for weeks. They haven't won one fucking match. They're a new team, by the way. Not one fucking match in this feud.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It is. Now, hopefully, we're done with it, though. Let's move on to new and different things.
Yeah, they can feud with the Alpha Academy or something. And Gable, who gives a shit? Fuck them all. There are no winners in this feud. So then we get Finn Balor. He came out to talk some shit about Priest. Priest came out to talk some shit about Finn Balor. Judgment Day came out to jump Priest. Ripley came out in crutches. Ripley's injured leg gets got. Judgment Day beat up Ripley and Priest. Jey Uso came out with a chair to help. And we later find out that Priest and Ripley had to go to the hospital.
They took a beating, so it makes sense. And through all that, there was a match set up, Balor versus Priest at Bad Blood.
Oh boy. And we get a Braun Strowman interview. Second week in a row that the guy who was tsunami through a car is here to talk shit while the guy who delivered the tsunami is MIA. Braun Breaker interrupts to say the only reason Strowman is still standing is because he wasn't in the ring with him. And then Breaker says he hopes Strowman wins. And I kind of want to see the Battle of the Brawns.
Yeah. And just like, how much of a badass is Braun Breaker just going up to the biggest kid on the yard? One of the biggest kids. He might be the biggest. I don't know. Well, there's Omos, but I don't even know if he's with WWE anymore. He's just going up to the biggest kid on the yard, we'll say for now, calling him out. You better hope you don't win, because I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to show you what a real monster is.
Oh, we know he's a badass because he has to tell us every fucking Monday.
Of course.
Like most
And he proves
badasses
it, too.
do. Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger used to tell us how much of a badass he was instead of just showing us?
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
No, it's a little bit of both. You got to tell them and do it.
No, you just got to do it.
No. You
Yeah.
gotta tell them to.
Nope. Schwarzenegger never did it. Stallone never did it. Seagal did, but he's different. The agenda beat the Unholy Union. Who cares? Damage Control got them in the back. Said don't get used to having the belts. Okay.
Yeah. I watched the entrances and then skipped it.
Yeah. Good Mexicans were interviewed. Judgment Day interrupted them to talk some shit. Finn and Ray agreed to a match later.
With Judgment Day banned from ringside. You got to have that in there.
Then we get Bret the Hitman Hart. The excellence of execution. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And for some reason, Wade Barrett and Joe Testicles are doing an interview instead of letting Bret do a fucking promo. They say Survivor Series is in Vancouver. Big whoop. Bret says he took great pride in being champion, especially Canadian champion. He goes on to suck off Canadian champions, say they take on anybody, never duck a challenge, and prove themselves every night. Then Gunther interrupts. Gunther says, "What a time to be alive. Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm about to pour my heart out to one of my childhood heroes." And he says, in all seriousness, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But this kind of feels like a passing of the torch type moment, because you were the best there was. But right now you're looking at the best there is and the best there ever will be. Gunther says, now we have business out of the way. I want to express something out of the bottom of my heart. Just like Stu said, and I thought for a second he was talking about Stu Hart before I realized he was calling Wade Barrett his real name.
Me too.
Gunther says, just like Stu said, we all watched you growing up, and you've always been a childhood hero for me. So I want to take this moment to personally tell you that you will always be a close second to my actual favorite. And my actual favorite is none other than Bill Goldberg. And Sammy and his wet blanket interrupted. He talked some shit and sucked Bret off. Sammy and Gunther fought. Whatever. Fuck them. We didn't talk about this because we weren't here last week, but Gunther, after beating Priest, successfully defending his championship once against Randy Orton, is now going backwards to defend against Sami fucking Zayn.
Yeah.
And you have
tying up a loose end.
You have the top fucking guy on this show doing a skit with Bret the Hitman Hart. Remember Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H? They were in a fight for their lives every fucking Monday. Now,
I said, well, there's plenty of skits.
There were
Stone
skits,
Cold
but
showing
not-
up at the hospital.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of McMahon.
I know, but that's
He was hunting. He was hunting and assassinating McMahon. He didn't come up. Oh, Bill Goldberg. Let's do a little skit.
It was Gunther being a dick,
He was being a dick.
which is, for him to even say it is even funnier because Goldberg wouldn't be a
Goldberg isn't even close to being his favorite.
Goldberg. you're not gonna go down and go watch a Goldberg match for some wrestling techniques.
I was kind of surprised that Brett really didn't have anything to say to Gunther.
Yeah, he's laughing though. You can see it.
He was, yeah. So we have Braun Breaker and the lesbian Pete Dunne backstage. Braun wants Dunne to remind him what they used to call him when he was rolling with Sheamus. Dunne tries to convince us that he's going to win the NXT title and the Intercontinental titles. Breaker says to Dunne that the worst mistake of his professional career would be convincing himself that he can beat Braun Breaker. Breaker says when it's all said and done, Pete, you're just going to have that stupid look on your face, doing that stupid shrug, going, man, what the hell happened to me out there? Man, Braun Breaker is a badass. Man, why are the dogs barking so loud in Canada? And Breaker wishes Dunne luck and leaves without incident. Then you hear off camera Sheamus screaming at the top of his lungs. 5 minutes later, he appears with a flying knee. Dunne is out. Sheamus takes back his shillelagh. And I can't wait for a shillelagh on a pole match or something equally asinine.
It's going to be a banger.
And Sheamus snatches Dunne, tells him he's his butch, and let's bleed and go. And Sheamus tries to kill Dunne with the shillelagh. Security people try to stop it. Sheamus tries to kill security people with the shillelagh. Because for some reason in Triple H's universe, security is on site for wrestlers.
They got a show to run. They got money to make. Can't be giving away backstage when you got money matches.
What does that have to do with the wrestlers always attacking security for no reason? Especially the baby faces.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's white privilege.
Dominic Mysterio beat Dragon Lee.
Yeah, nothing really came of anything there. It's just a straight up match.
Then they honored a hockey player and his brother who died in a car crash. No idea what it was, or no idea who it was, or any of the situations involving it. But it was a nice little moment, especially when they showed the outside of the arena with the flowers and shit.
Yep. From what I remember, it was a drunk driving incident.
They didn't say that because I rewound. They said it was an auto accident.
Yeah, I just remember it was on Sports Center
a
few weeks back, or not weeks, but it happened in August. So whatever the time frame on that is, and the guy who did it is like on trial now, probably going to jail for the rest of his life. Oh, because he didn't want to call Uber.
It's also worth noting that I believe this is the last wrestling event in the Saddle Dome.
It's going away?
I think so, yeah. Moving on, we have Pure Garbage versus Zelina Vega, the ugly NXT chick, and a mystery partner. And they built up the mystery partner to be fucking Natalya and her fucking cat lips.
And her booyakas. Don't forget those.
And Pure Garbage lost.
Her bazookas that get bigger every time they cut back on TV.
Pure Garbage Collective lost. This new badass team. Swear to Christ, the booking makes no fucking sense.
Hey, it's the Triple H era. You get new factions together so they can take L's. Yeah. See Gable's American Made.
Triple H era, where you have your top guy just doing little comedy skits and Yeah. Just like Priest with R-Truth.
Yeah.
So then we get Drew McIntyre. Comes out to the ring. Crowd starts a CM Punk chant. McIntyre's like, oh, come on, guys. Louder. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. You see, that doesn't bother me anymore because when you chant CM Punk, I know that's just in remembrance. McIntyre says Punk screwed him out of the title 3 times, and he beat Punk at SummerSlam. And just because Punk can touch 4 corners in a row, he thinks he can move on and fight for a title? I don't think so, you arrogant prick. McIntyre says that he made Punk a bigger star, but he can live with that fact because he ended Punk's career. So now it's time to move on. He says the World Heavyweight title he's been screwed out of multiple times is still number 1 on the agenda. Then he pimps his movie with Batista. And he says everything is perfect, but there's one loose end he has to cover. And he's afraid he has some bad news. And it involves Wade
Which
Barrett.
unfortunately got no reaction.
Right. And he didn't call him Stu. McIntyre says that he and Barrett have been friends for decades. They came to the USA together. They lived together. They got arrested together. Barrett has been the only one to stand up for Drew while Michael Cole was lying to the world. And McIntyre doesn't have many friends left in this world, but he wants to know why the fuck Barrett stood in his way when he was about to deliver the killing blow to CM Punk. And he tells Barrett he got angry, or he's not angry, just disappointed. But if Barrett does it again, he's not going to be disappointed. He's going to be angry, and then he's going to do something about it. Barrett stands up, starts to get into it with McIntyre. Pierce comes out to shut that shit down. Pierce asks McIntyre why he wants to fight his only friend. Why do you want to fight your only friend? And then says,
he's like, have you lost the plot so far that you're now fighting your friends?
And then says he doesn't want to do that. Come into the ring. I have some information that involves you. Pierce says he talked to Punk, despite what McIntyre thinks. Punk is far from finished. And McIntyre says, I don't believe you. But if it's true, and that's a huge if, you're signing his death certificate. Pierce says, be that as it may, but it has to end. And at Bad Blood, it will end. Pierce says it's going to be CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for one more time. When it's over, I'm going to find peace because it'll be over. And I know it'll be over because October in Atlanta, Georgia, Bad Blood, got to get that all in there. It'll be CM Punk. It'll be Drew McIntyre. It will be Hell in a Cell. Pierce overdramatically took off his glasses when he said Hell in a Cell. And then McIntyre didn't look too excited about that.
Of course he wasn't.
And apparently McIntyre does not have a good win-loss record when it comes to Hell in a Cell.
I didn't even look for it, but yeah, they did say that. But yeah, I didn't even look and see how bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to fact check. Are you kidding me?
But I do wonder who's winning this feud. Because this is, you would assume, is going to be the last match.
I wonder, because the way that they're emphasizing the one last time, I wonder if it's going to be more than one last time.
Well, they got to move on after this.
You could have a forever feud. Come on, we see the evil Mexicans and the good Mexicans fight for fucking months.
I guess you can. They at least take a break. I mean, it's Hell in a Cell. It's supposed to be a blow-off.
Wouldn't a strap match be a blow-off too?
Well, McIntyre kind of buried it, so.
Okay.
Oh, you just touched some corners. You didn't pin me. You didn't make me say I quit. But you would think it was until that.
Karrion Kross and Miz backstage. Kross is telling Miz that he's in a rut or something. Woods comes in to call Kross a flim-flam man. Miz says Cross is actually right because he is in a rut. And whatever. I don't care. Kofi came in, mistakes Woods for Bret Hart. Okay. Then they have a tag match at some point. So whatever.
Yeah, they have a tag team title match set up. And Woods threw in that little line. I mean, I thought we were going to go after individual titles, but, tag team titles, it's even better. Because it's twice the payday. So, what we didn't get to address last week was Odyssey Jones getting his ass fired. Or allegedly fired.
Oh, no, he got fired.
He is fired. We'll just say alleged reasons why he got fired. So, I guess The Miz has taken over his spot. Or maybe Karrion Kross has moved on from the New Day and he's now going to do this with The Miz. What an upgrade. Now The Miz gets this story because we care about The Miz. Especially if they have matches out of this.
Right?
Wait for that Karrion Kross Miz match.
Oh, it'll be a barn burner.
Yeah.
Fucking main event, Bad Blood. Shit.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Ray beat Balor by DQ. Meh.
Yeah, this is just to drive home the fact that the Judgment Day is out for blood, if you will.
And Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov had a backstage thing. Breaker said he already beat Dragunov, but he can win tonight, and Breaker can beat him again. Then Breaker did a Pee Wee Herman laugh. It's like, I can beat you again. Ha! Jey Uso interrupts, and he just walks past everyone. He does one of them stupid in-ring or to the ring promos. And then Jey Uso won the Intercontinental title 4-way. I called it.
Rikishi's not going to be happy.
Well, I think he would be happy about that. He's not going to be happy that I believe the Intercontinental title match is going to be on TV instead of a pay-per-view.
I don't know. Yeah, he won't be happy about that, but I think the fact that he's losing and then what happens afterwards, because segments before, when the Judgment Day beat down Priest and Rhea Ripley, out came Jey Uso for the save. So
they're getting closer and closer to kissing.
I had this vision of just Rikishi like telling Jay he can't go to Raw. Like he's walking out of the house. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going to
because he still
Monday. I'm going to Raw. Yeah, it's Monday. I'm going to Raw. No, you ain't, boy. And then Triple H, hey, you gonna show up? My dad said I can't go.
I can't go.
Yeah, but we got some things for you. You got an Intercontinental title match. I have to stay home. I gotta go now.
It's like that Seinfeld, that running joke where they kept going, I can't go.
Yeah.
Well, that was Raw. Then we move on to SmackDown, which is now on the USA Network. We're on our season premiere. They have a new logo, a new theme song, and the theme song sucked. I skipped it. So that's going to be something to look forward to. And we are in Seattle, Washington. Triple H kicks off the show. Says it feels just like yesterday he was facing The Rock on the very first episode of SmackDown. 25 years later, here we are. He puts over Seattle using Punk's gimmick. Like, oh, what a time to be alive in Seattle, or whatever the fuck he said. Then he pimps the steel cage match between Cody and Solo. And then the cage lowers. So we're not playing tonight. We got Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes. Steel cage match for the Universal Championship. The video package was cool. Showed the Bloodline beating everybody's ass, including Roman's. Aldis eventually comes out, says he's sick of the numbers game, books Cody and Solo in a steel cage match. Simple, straightforward. And the match starts. Solo came out all by himself. Alicia Taylor, unfortunately, didn't suffer from an incurable disease from her last showing, so she's back and sucking at calling out people's names in front of a group of people.
Well, she could have just get fired.
No,
She
I want
got
her
a
to.
disease.
No, she needs either a disease or a plane needs to crash on her way to the next city. Started off like all the other matches, only inside a cage. Solo no sells Bulldogs now. I suppose that's new. I don't remember Solo no selling shit.
Yeah. It's not a current. It's not an everyday occurrence.
Okay.
But every once in a while he'll no sell something.
Solo did the Umaga ass thing to Cody into the cage after a Samoan drop, also into the cage. And it's the new network, and we're still censoring the live crowd, so the home audience is completely distracted. Cody got busted open after taking a flying headbutt from a Tree of Woe. Dr. Corey Graves claimed it was because Solo's skull is 2 inches thick. So Solo targets Cody's injury, then power bombs him into the cage. Tries to do a razor's edge for some reason. Cody escaped, tried to climb the top of the cage. Solo's standing there with his mouth open like an idiot. Like a bigger idiot, Cody goes for a Cody cutter from the top of the cage instead of retaining his title. Solo then superplexed Cody from the top of the cage, but after it was all said and done, it was about the same height as a normal superplex. So I'm sure it still hurt, but I don't think it was that devastating. Cody slaps Solo. Solo responds with 2 rock bottoms. And then he goes for a spike. Cody blocks it, makes a comeback. Cody hits a disaster kick and a Cody cutter. Cody goes for a crossroads. Solo escapes, does an Umaga ass charge to Cody in the corner. Solo drags Cody to his feet, hits a Samoan drop and a splash. Solo does another ass charge. Cody just opens the door and tries to crawl out of the ring. Like, you fucking kidding me?
That is the way to win, though.
But come on, you just got Samoan ass charged. And let me just open the door and crawl out. I'm good. Fuck you. Cody counters a belly to back suplex with a crossroads. Of course, Solo kicked out because it's the worst fucking finishing move ever. Imagine being the guy that doesn't kick out of the crossroads. Like a single crossroads.
That's his own fault.
I know.
For doing it 3 times.
That's so stupid. Cody climbs the cage, stops at the top, turns around, does a diving crossbody to Solo because he doesn't want to win his fucking belt. Cody tries to crawl to the cage door. Solo slams the door on Cody's head, goes for a spike. Cody, fine and dandy, after getting the cage slammed on his head, counters the spike with a Cody cutter. 1, 2, 3. It's actually a really good match. I was really, really surprised that we didn't see a whole bunch of Samoans leaping off the cage.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I thought Solo coming out by himself. I was like, all right, well, this ending's going to be bullshit. But no, he lost clean as a whistle.
And Cody said, I'm done.
Yep, he kneeled over Solo after the match, says their business is now concluded. Bloodline came out instead of when the match was going on, and they could have actually helped Solo win. Solo hits Cody with a spike. The Tongans put the boots to him. Jacob Fatu does a moonsault, then climbs on the top of the cage to do something insane on Solo's orders. Roman comes out to help. Roman gets in the cage, slams the door, then beats up the Tongans, of course. Solo attacks Roman from behind and gears up for an Umaga ass charge. Of course, it's countered with a Superman punch. Roman gears up to spear Solo. Jacob Fatu pulls Solo out of the cage door because apparently he climbed on the outside instead of the inside. Well, then Roman calls.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
He definitely crawled inside the ring when they showed him on camera, and
Yeah,
then
I thought
all
he
of a sudden
climbed.
he's outside.
Yeah, I thought he climbed down inside the ring.
He did.
But then, like, when all that shit was happening, I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? They're just Solo and Jacob are just standing in the corner watching the Tongans get their ass beat.
Yeah. Now, little Jacob Fatu detail. When he ran in the ring, the first thing he did, mainly the only thing he did, was check on Solo.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's
that's
his tribal chief because he loves Solo.
Yeah.
Solo, I love you. Because remember last week he was challenged for a world title match and he wouldn't do it because he loves Solo.
Yeah.
So Roman's still standing in the ring and he locks eyes with Jacob Fatu, tells him to get in. Jacob obliges. It looks like they're about to go to war. And then fucking Solo pulls Jacob Fatu out of the cage and slams the door shut, totally saving Roman's life. Useless Tongans attack Roman from behind. By this time, Cody has had enough time to recover. Roman and Cody do their moves to the Tongans because the Tongans are expendable. Cody and Roman have a little stare down before Roman basically says Cody's unimportant and it's about Solo and him. Aldis is interviewed after all that. So Solo reached out to him and he and Jacob Fatu have a special challenge. Now I want to know, how the fuck does that work when Solo was just on the entrance ramp with the necklace?
I thought so too. But I was watching it afterwards, so I thought there was like commercial magic in between.
No.
But-
There might have, I can't remember. Still, though.
It was like there had to have been a commercial or something.
Turns out Jacob and Solo want to face Cody and Roman at Bad Blood. Cody interrupted, says he doesn't want, or he says he's done with the bloodline. It's Roman's problem. He has absolutely no intentions of signing the contract for this match. He's done. He's never going to sign it. Can't pay him any money. Fuck Roman. Fuck the bloodline. Cody is at his wit's end. He's beaten him enough. He'll never wrestle the bloodline again. Ever. Can't twist his arm.
Yep. A little bit of a heel thing to be saying from your top baby face.
Now I'm curious how they're going to flip him in 3 weeks.
Flip who?
Cody.
In 3 weeks.
Yeah, because that's when the pay-per-view is.
Uh-huh.
So these past 3 weeks, or these next 3 weeks, that's going to be how Cody's going to get weaseled into this main event match or this tag match.
Oh. No, he's already
no,
in.
no, I know.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now what I want to know, well, yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards.
All right. Later, Roman informs Aldis that he wants to address the situation in the ring later. So we just got to wait. Mia Yim and Peggy Niven had a match. They didn't even get entrances.
I swear I blinked and this match was over, so I don't know what happened. I just know that Mia Yim won and then was attacked shortly after.
Remember when Peggy Niven was challenging for the title?
Yeah.
Orton and Owens beat A-Town Down Under. Owens came out with Ricky as his partner, but predictably, his actual partner was Orton.
Yeah, everybody knew that was coming.
Nia Jax. She said some shit. Bayley came out to say some shit. Stratton came out to say her shit. Naomi came out to contribute to the shit.
And through all this, well, I guess I can fill in the gap here. So Nia Jax, she was gloating about being champion and queen of the ring, and the Irresistible Force. Bailey comes out. She says she wants her rematch, which I think they just addressed a few weeks ago about having rematch clauses, but that's here nor there. Nia Jax doesn't accept, but instead, we somehow now get a tag team match with Naomi and Bailey versus Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh boy.
And the winner, oh, because Naomi wanted a title match as well. And so Nia Jax's like, well, let's make this interesting. How about this? We'll do a tag team match. Whoever gets the win in that match between you two will get the title match at Bad Blood. But if you lose, whoever loses the match, or I'm sorry, when you lose the match, you got to leave SmackDown. So you got to go to Raw. So that was the stipulation. So it's a loser leaves town or winner gets a title match. It's weird that they threw that little stipulation in there because, first of all, I don't think they're losing, so it's not really going to come up. But if they do, who's going to Raw? Maybe Naomi? I don't know.
I don't know, but I do know I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we probably send Naomi to Raw. She ain't doing nothing on SmackDown. She'd go with her. That's a mistake. Never mind.
None of them are really doing anything.
They're trying. Nia Jax is. She can only beat who they put in front of her.
Come on. She does her little nasally fucking promo with her little squinty eye. Fuck her.
She does a good job.
She needs to do some Atkins.
I don't know what that is.
Atkins? Low carb diet?
Oh. First of all, she's lost a lot of weight. She's a beautiful
She needs
woman.
to lose more weight.
She sit on my face. What?
Oh, you can have it.
Where did that come from? I don't know who said that.
Andrade.
I imagine, though, there'd be some good, suffocation going on there.
There's nothing good about Nia Jax sitting on anybody's face. Sorry. Andrade Idolo beat Carmelo Anthony. LA Knight came out after the match to tell Idolo how he made the biggest mistake of his life. Because apparently he gets a title shot now.
Yep.
The Agenda ran their mouths backstage. Don't care.
Just more Agenda stuff. I mean, you got Jade Cargill talking about if you want to step up and get this work, come on, because we're handing out applications. So, yeah, that's and then Nia Jax, she enters frame, so we have another Nia Jax segment.
Oh boy!
She tells Bianca and Jade, "Congrats on winning those tag titles. Oh, by the way, I beat both of you to become Queen of the Ring, so I'll just leave that there." And then Tiffany Stratton says, "Toodles." And then Jade and Bianca looked at each other and said, "Bet," for some reason. As if, I guess we're building towards a tag team match there too. I don't know.
Oh,
why?
God.
Why? See, that's what I said. That's the problem with these two being champions. There's no believable challengers.
Well, if they didn't have Nia Jax lose to fucking, I don't know, Ivy Nile or some shit.
What? Nia Jax hasn't lost too much this year. Since her return.
No, that's not true.
Well, she hadn't been pinned.
She lost to fucking Liv Morgan. Not Nia, not Ivy Nile. She lost to Liv Morgan. Fuck that shit.
Liv Morgan's a champion. That's
Liv
the women's
Morgan's
champion
fucking
right
useless. Liv Morgan is a fucking stain on the wrestling business.
There. She's actually doing pretty good work.
No, she's not.
There was a moment, by the way, on Raw where Dom was there during the Dragon Lee match. Dom was celebrating, and they're portraying to be a couple. And Dom goes to, they go to kiss, and Dom turns her head and kisses her on the cheek instead of on the lips. Anyway, I don't know.
So Dom's gay.
Necessary. Well, I think maybe he's trying to be respectable to his wife.
No, he's gay.
Dom be putting it on women. You understand?
Putting on men.
He's like, get those mustache rides.
I can kiss a cute blonde, but no, let me turn her head at the last second and kiss her cheek.
He probably got, yeah. Even though everybody said his wife is cool with it, from his words. But if he's dating a Latina woman, I don't see that as being a thing. She don't care how much money you make.
Roman Reigns comes out, says some things change, but not him. He doesn't need all this. He doesn't need a fucking contract. This is family business. This is bloodline business. Roman says he doesn't need a partner. Damn sure doesn't want Cody Rhodes' help. And he says he's the tribal chief, with or without the necklace. He's not just the original, he's the only tribal chief. Roman says this is his ring, his show, his WWE. Cody, who's totally done with the bloodline, wants nothing to do with Roman, interrupts for some reason. Cody's feelings were hurt because Roman said that the ring and the show and the company belonged to him. Cody says those things have belonged to him, or haven't belonged to him since WrestleMania. Then Cody, who's totally done with the bloodline and wants nothing to do with Roman, throws his mic down and squares up to Roman. Roman throws his mic down, and it looks like we're going to get part 3. Then the bloodline interrupt. The Tongans get their asses kicked again. Roman, it was a long night for them. Roman picks up Aldis's contract from earlier and signs it. Cody, who's totally done with the bloodline and wants nothing to do with Roman, reaches out his hand to sign the contract too. So I guess we didn't have to wait for 3 weeks.
Yep, we got our payoff.
Was it a payoff?
And it should be noted that the whole segment, Jacob Fatu was just staring intensely at Solo. He didn't even watch the beatdown. He was just staring at Solo with his praying hands.
There you go.
Now, yes, there was a lot that happened in that segment. Cody Rhodes, he came out because he had to.
His feelings were hurt.
It's not his feelings were hurt.
Oh yeah, his feelings were hurt.
Why are you
Roman
saying
came back, said it the show, the company, and whatever the ring were his. So Cody had to come out and reassert his dominance.
Yeah, I gotta go make sure.
Despite the fact that earlier he said he wants nothing to do with the fucking bloodline.
He was not out there for the bloodline. He was out there to let Roman
come on.
know.
Roman said this is bloodline business. Cody came out. Bullshit.
He didn't say, I'm not helping you with the bloodline. Or he didn't mention the bloodline. He said, this was your company. But you're not holding this.
Roman is
after
addressing
WrestleMania.
Bloodline business. Cody came out to interrupt him because he had his feelings hurt because Roman said some things he didn't like. That's what happened.
Well, they're telling a story there too.
It's a shitty story.
Well, maybe, but
if they didn't have Cody come, I'm done. I don't want this. You heard what I said to Solo. Never wrestling the bloodline again. Nope. And then one little attack, which I don't even think they got hurt. Did the Tongans even get an offensive move in, or did they just come out to get their asses beat again? I can't even remember.
They got a little bit of offense.
So they got a little bit of offense, and so that's enough to change Cody's mind, who is steadfast and not fucking doing anything with the bloodline anymore.
Yeah, that was a little easy to convince him off of that, but he wasn't out there for that.
The Tongans have
He
been
was out
attacking
there to
him for
prove
3
a
fucking
point.
weeks in a row, and this nope. Can't let this slide. Got to go back on what I just said 15 minutes earlier.
I gotta go out there and let him know that this is my company now. Kind of, if you want to talk about it, this is like the Solo. I'm the tribal chief now. So, yeah, there's 2 feuds building here. Cody versus Roman, face of the company. Because Cody Rhodes, he's very, very proud about being the face of the company. He wants to make sure everybody knows that. This is my company now.
Is he the
I'm
face
the
of the
face.
company?
Well, that's what he's telling us.
No, I mean seriously, is he the face of the company?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
He beat the face.
No, is he the face of the company?
Right now, yeah, this is the
Not
Cody Rhodes
because
era.
he beat the actual face of the company. Is he the face? When you think of WWE, do you think Cody Rhodes?
I mean, right now they're trying to make him the face. Like he's the poster child. He's on all the graphics. He's on the house show circuits. He's on the trucks.
Okay.
They're trying to make him the face. Everybody's like, this is we're all in an agreement. This is a new era, Triple H era. So yeah, he's trying to make himself the face of that era.
Well, that was SmackDown.
Yep, that was SmackDown. And we got the age-old build, the Vince McMahon special. Can they coexist? That's the question. Will they coexist? Or will the bloodline capitalize on the rift that is between Roman and Cody, who are building towards Cody and Roman 3?
The real question is, how are they going to book Jacob Fatu in this match? The real tribal chief.
And I heard people again, they started their shit again.
WrestleMania?
Yeah. When Jacob Fatu slammed the cage door and he's face to face with Roman. Oh, this is the WrestleMania match. Bitch, go sit down. This is not the WrestleMania match.
Could be.
I mean, it could be, but Jacob Fatu's not ready for that spotlight.
I think he's more ready than Solo is.
Nah. Solo versus Jacob Fatu is more of a WrestleMania match than Roman versus Fatu. I'm not saying they can't get there. I'm just saying. And anyway, we got that Rock Roman match at WrestleMania. That still needs to
Fuck
happen.
The Rock.
So we're not going to be jumping towards Jacob
Rock can get on
Fatu,
the same fucking airplane as Alicia Taylor.
Jacob Fatu should be. Damn it. You messed me up. It doesn't matter.
I think Roman and Jacob Fatu would be a good WrestleMania match.
I think it can be. But Fatu has some work to do. He's got to. He's not. He's not there yet. He's not even close to there yet.
He's absolutely there.
I haven't seen one American or what is Samoan werewolf shirt in the wild, that being in public anywhere. I've not seen one.
I haven't seen one Roman Reigns shirt in public.
Oh, I see them all the time.
Well, that's because you live in a weird part of the country.
Yeah. People.
I don't see
wear
wrestling
shirts
shirts
all the time here. There was
The
this
only
guy
time I
who's
see wrestling shirts is when I wear a wrestling shirt.
Oh. There's this guy, he had this like a bomber jacket or Letterman jacket with this big Stone Cold smoking skull on the back. It's like, yo, nice. That's nice. You want to go ahead and sell it to me? The very jacket you're wearing right now, you want to sell it? He didn't do it though. But yeah, I haven't seen one one Samoan werewolf shirt. I haven't seen. There needs to be more. This is about the biggest show of ever in the wrestling industry.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about the biggest fucking show ever in the wrestling industry.
Oh. Well, they can't all be winners. But yeah, that is Friday Night SmackDown.
And I believe we are shilling.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to 500 subscribers. We're getting close. We're on the 10-yard line, we'll say here. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for the stream today. If you're on Team Replay, hit the like button, and check us out on all of our social medias. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch. We're gonna be adding more. We got Spotify, not Shopify, Spotify. If you're audio only, shout out to the audio only. And
When's the last time the Spotify has been updated?
It might have been a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year. Hey,
you're promoting all these platforms that we don't fucking update.
Cause I want to get followers over there before trying to get monetized on the other platforms.
Well, you gotta have new content for us to get fucking followers.
What are you do? Why are we doing this right now? Arguing in front of the guest.
Do we have a guest?
Well, not anymore. We did. We had two guests. No, we don't have any. But that's okay, because we got Team Replay who are going to come in and watch the stream, which they have been doing. So, and we're coming back to Spotify as of like tomorrow.
Okay.
Because you ever heard of the Call Her Daddy podcast?
No.
Well, there's this lady. It's a long story, but there's this podcast called Call Her Daddy, and she just signed $100 million podcast deal. So, and she was on Spotify, and then now she's on Sirius XM. But the Spotify thing got her to the, being on the podcast platform. And then Travis Kelce and his brother, Jason Kelce, they got a big ass deal too. So Spotify audio only seems to be a good launching ground. Hey, by the way, if you're, one of these platforms and you just happen to come across our show and you want to cut us $100 million check, go ahead. We'll take it. Sight unseen too. We're not going to read any contracts. We'll just sign it. There we go.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to our Wrestling Rewind.
We got a little retro review.
And we start off with shots of jets flying over the arena. John Legend. Oh, we are doing a WrestleMania 24. In Orlando.
And the first WrestleMania in HD. No more black bars on the side of the screen.
No. And it starts off with shots of jets flying over the arena. John Legend saying America the Beautiful. Kicked ass.
Best one yet.
Might be, yeah. I don't know. I like Boys to Men.
Yeah, theirs was good too. I'm just a John Legend fan, so.
Yeah, he's alright. I've always been kind of indifferent to him. Like I've never heard a John Legend song and been like, ugh, turn that shit off. But I've never actually sought out John Legend either.
haven't either. Ordinary People used to be my go-to karaoke song. You know, when you gotta go, you go karaokeing. That was my
Oh
go-to
yeah, all the
song.
time.
Hey, some people like to go karaoke. I've only done it a couple times, by the way. I'm not like a avid. You know, there was one time we went to the karaoke and there was this group and they sang like, first of all, they sang like 10 songs. They thought this was like their show. They were like all dressed up in like white shoes and tuxedos and singing Boys to Men and like these guys think they're they think they're in like I
They're
don't
gonna
know,
get
they're at the
noticed.
Grammys. Yeah. They're playing musical instruments at karaoke, by the way.
That's stupid.
And I just imagine them like,
Rehearsing.
well, they definitely rehearse, but I just imagine them like, oh, you know, their wife, oh, let's go to a movie tonight, babe. I can't. It's my show tonight. It's our big night. We're gonna have at least 10 people there tonight. We were giving out cards. Yeah.
Well, after that, we get a WrestleMania video package. Wrestlers narrate how big WrestleMania is to them and how hard they work to get there and how you can be immortalized in an instant. And when they started saying how this year is different, everyone started talking shit, then saying WrestleMania got me. Oh, wait. Yeah, so when they started saying how this year is different, everyone started talking shit. And then they were saying WrestleMania. That got me hyped. We're in Orlando, Florida. Fuck the commentators because they don't get any time. We start off immediately with John Bradshaw Layfield versus Fit Finlay in a Belfast brawl. We get a video package. Vince came out gloating about whipping Hornswoggle with a belt in the middle of a steel cage. Turns out Hornswoggle is supposed to be Vince McMahon's illegitimate son at this point. Vince says that it was tough love and his son had it coming. What he didn't have coming was what happened after. And we cut to JBL beating the ever-loving fuck out of the little fucking Hornswoggle. JBL full-on kicked him in the head, tossed him face first into the cage, delivers an elbow drop, and then does a fall-away slam, tossing him into the cage as well. Finlay was handcuffed to the cage the entire time, pleading for JBL to stop beating the shit out of Hornswoggle. So then we cut to Vince demanding an apology from JBL for beating the piss out of Hornswoggle. JBL says, "I'm sorry that I didn't do it sooner." Then JBL says Hornswoggle isn't Vince's son. He's Finlay's. Christ.
Mind you, Hornswoggle is a grown-ass man.
Yes.
He's just a little person.
Yes.
And yeah, they're doing this whole son angle. Like, he's not a kid.
Well, fortunately, we get a match out of all this bullshit. Finlay came out with Hornswoggle, of course. Hornswoggle looked like he was going to bite JBL's nuts off. Apparently, JBL hunted Hornswoggle down in his hospital bed, which was so unnecessary. Finlay gets halfway in the entrance ramp and runs full speed to the ring where JBL's waiting to kick Finlay. They fight on the floor. JBL beats Finlay's ass until Finlay's able to reverse an Irish whip into the steel steps. Then he throws JBL into the ring. Then the match officially starts. Finlay starts beating on JBL, goes out of the ring to get a couple trash cans and kendo sticks. Finlay made a calculated error, throwing weapons into the ring and also allowing JBL to recover. So Finlay immediately gets his ass stomped when he gets back into the ring. JBL clobbers Finlay with a trash can lid and a baking sheet. Hornswoggle looked concerned and then was playing the part of Miss Elizabeth this evening because he just had the emotional look on his face the entire time. JBL goes outside the ring and grabs steel steps. Looks like JBL is about to pile drive Finlay onto the steps, and Finlay reverses it into a back body drop. Finley recovers, starts walloping JBL's cerebellum with a cookie sheet. JBL kicks Finley in the face, starts kicking his ass again. Finley gets backed into the corner, starts getting drilled with right hooks. JBL grabs the shillelagh to finish Finley off. Hornswoggle comes in from behind JBL and whacks him with a kendo stick. JBL goes for Hornswoggle. Finley cracks a distracted JBL in the head with a shillelagh. JBL tumbles out of the ring. Finley rolls JBL into the ring, stomps a trash can into his face, then goes outside the ring again and grabs a table. Finley props the table up in the corner, tries to Irish whip JBL through it. JBL reverses it and whips Finley into the opposite corner where the table's set up. Finley grabs steel steps, chases JBL out of the ring. Hornswoggle's there. JBL proceeds to bitch slap him. Finley loses it, bashes JBL in the head repeatedly with into the announce desk. Finley tries a suicide dive to JBL. JBL grabs a trash can lid, cracks Finley in the head midair, which is great. JBL takes it back to the ring, picks up a trash can, tosses it at Hornswoggle for no reason. Like, he really hates that little fucker. And the best part was Hornswoggle wasn't even looking.
And the best part is he actually hit him.
Yeah, he sure did.
Like, I don't know. I think it was supposed to be like just throw it towards him, but no, he hit him.
Yeah. JBL nailed Finley in the head with a trash can, goes for a clothesline from hell. Finley grabs the trash can at the last second, creams JBL before he can connect with the clothesline. Finley creams JBL with a trash can lid, throws him into the propped up table. Then he grabs the steel steps to finish off JBL. Before Finley can deliver the finishing blow, JBL grabs a kendo stick, whacks Finley in the leg, then nails the clothesline from hell 1, 2, 3. And Hornswoggle was sad after the match.
And it was surprising that JBL actually won, or at least to me. This story seemed like Finley was going to get his comeuppance or his get back.
Mm-hmm.
But nope. JBL wins.
I thought it was really sad that JBL and Finley had a bullshit story to have this good match to work through.
Well, you know. And why didn't Hornswoggle say anything? Because, again, he's a grown man. But if I remember correctly, he was kind of... It's probably because they were using Mr. McMahon.
I can't remember.
Because I remember, Hornswoggle would do a lot of... He would abuse his power that he had because he was Mr. McMahon's son. But I don't know.
Well, after that, the WrestleMania host Kim Kardashian was allowed to speak. She introduced the Money in the Bank match. Sounded really stupid doing it. For her sake, I hope Kanye's Cum has ginkgo biloba in it or something. Mr. Kennedy interrupted. Kardashian pretended to be disgusted at first, but ended up not keeping a straight face. Kennedy said he's winning Money in the Bank for a second year in a row.
And he said, the winner of this match will be Mr. Kennedy. Leaves frame. Kardashian thinks it's all over. She's back to the camera. Kennedy. And this is this is post tape of Kim Kardashian, by the way. So she has been exposed on that tape, which was okay, I'd say. Now, it was a lot better than Paris Hilton's, I'll tell you that. I wasn't into the night vision thing. Like,
well, then we get the Money in the Bank match.
What were they thinking? Like,
everyone, I don't care about these useless chicks fucking on camera.
Okay.
That's what real porn's for.
Well, that's how they got famous. So, here we go.
Everyone is fucking on commentary. I mean, the Raw, SmackDown, and ECW crews. John Morrison's the first competitor, who's one half of the tag team champions. We get Carlito, Meh. Shelton Benjamin, ain't no stopping him now.
He's the gold standard now with the blonde hair.
And they said Benjamin was the human highlight reel in the previous 2 Money in the Bank matches, but he wasn't in last year's, so they fucked up. CM Punk looked young as fuck. Mr. Kennedy, who ran under the ladders. MVP, who still has that awesome theme song. And he's currently the longest running US champion in WWE history. And we finally get Chris Jericho. He's the Intercontinental Champion, and he has short hair now.
I think they had said he had returned, so I guess he had left the company and came back. I don't know where he went. I don't know what was. I guess did he go back to WCW?
No, he just left.
Oh,
I think he did a movie or something.
oh. Well, to recap, we have John Morrison, champion, MVP, champion, Chris Jericho, champion, and in this match that is going to be for the Money in the Bank. Typically, you already know that the champions aren't going to win something and become double champion or whatever. Yeah, it does happen every once in a while, but typically, yeah, if a champion's getting a shot at another title, that just tells you they're losing. So we got 3 of the 7 members or whatever are champions. So that already eliminates 3 of them.
Yes. Smart booking. Well, it started off with everybody beating each other's ass with ladders. MVP looked like an idiot because he tried to joust with Jericho, who had a much longer ladder than him. Morrison did a moonsault to the outside while holding a ladder. If I was one of the guys in the crowd that got landed on by Morrison, I probably would have got up and kicked him in the nuts for that. Jericho and Morrison take turns fighting with Kennedy on top of a ladder. Benjamin comes up beside them on another ladder to set up the next stunt. Turns out to be a triple power of doom. Kennedy and Morrison, Kennedy had Morrison in a suplex. Benjamin sudden set flipped over Kennedy, all from the top of a ladder. Yay. Benjamin did a really slow tightrope spot. I don't know. I know it's much harder than it looks, but I'm not going to get my dick hard when he's slowly pushed to the ropes and he gingerly stands on top of them. Turned out to beat him for nothing because he ended up jumping back on the ladder, and then the ladder just crumpled and Benjamin went with it.
Yeah.
Benjamin ended up recovering, went for the briefcase again. Punk snatches Benjamin and hits a GTS. Punk goes for the briefcase. Kennedy snatches Punk in a fireman's carry and does a forward roll onto the ladder. MVP tries a hell of a kick to Carlito and misses. Carlito smashes MVP's other leg with the ladder. And then Benjamin goes for a briefcase again, ends up getting dumped on the outside where a ladder bridge was set up. So fuck you, Jeff Hardy. Because remember, Jeff Hardy did the ladder bridge spot to somebody. I think he did like a leg drop or a swanton bomb. Well, Benjamin just landed on the ladder.
I think it was just a leg drop.
Okay. Yeah, Benjamin just took the ladder himself.
Yep. Goodbye, Benjamin.
Yeah, Carlito's reaction made the whole spot because he just stood there staring at Benjamin's lifeless corpse with his mouth open. Also, when it cut to the deceased Benjamin on the floor, when the camera showed him, that was pretty epic. MVP jumps over a ladder with Kennedy, Jericho, and Carlito fighting for the briefcase. He dumped over a ladder with Kennedy, Jericho, and Carlito fighting for the briefcase. Morrison immediately tosses the ladder into MVP's face. Jericho does a stupid Walls of Jericho to Morrison on the top of the ladder. Dumbest fucking spot ever. Kennedy and Jericho fight on the top of ladders. Carlito and Punk simultaneously jump on the ladders to join the fight. Kennedy, I think, hits Punk with a facebuster from the top of their ladder. Jericho pushes Carlito off of their ladder. Carlito calmly walks over to Jericho's side and just hits a backstabber. And I think Carlito may have sandwiched his nuts on that spot, because he sure did grab him. Everyone's out but MVP, so it looks like he's the winner. Matt Hardy comes out of nowhere. Or I'm sorry, he comes out from the crowd just as MVP reaches the briefcase. Hardy hits MVP with a twist of fate from the top of the ladder. Jericho recovers, starts beating the shit out of everyone with the ladder until he gets stuck inside a ladder that's leaning inside the ropes. So picture a V made out of ladders just leaning against the corner. Jericho ends up tossing Carlito on the ladder furthest from the corner, so the ladder in the corner stands straight up, setting up the next stunt for Morrison, who tries to climb the ladder but gets crushed on the ropes. A whole lot of build-up for a shit payoff. And then Jericho gets his ladder back, goes for the briefcase. Carlito spits the apple in his eye. It looks like Carlito's about to win. Kennedy comes up from behind, pushes Carlito off the ladder. So it looks like Kennedy's about to win now, but Punk nails him with the ladder. Jericho hits Punk with a code breaker while Punk was holding the ladder. It looks like Jericho's going to win now. Punk ends up recovering because fuck the code breaker. And then Punk starts climbing the ladder. Jericho rains down kicks and punches. They fight on top of the ladder. Jericho nails Punk in the face with a briefcase. Punk grabs Jericho's leg and hooks him in the ladder. Punk grabs the briefcase for the win. Yay.
Good callback to last year, I guess. Because, last year they did this reverse spot where Kennedy knocks Punk off the ladder with that javelin.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I believe I was trying to think who he cashed in on. I believe he cashed in on Jeff Hardy. I'm sure we'll find out later, but I think that's who it was.
That's a good question.
But I will say this match was kind of ridiculous that it had the 3-person commentary thing, because they would only talk when their branded person was I don't know, on offense or about to do something. So you have Taz and Joey Styles talking when Morrison would do something, and then it jumped to Cole and whoever he was with when Kennedy did something, and then the Raw commentary would say something when Benjamin did something. So yeah, they were just I don't know. Last year they were talking to each other, but this time it was just only talk when your guy's doing something. And it just felt weird.
Just a little bit. I'm trying to find out who he cashed in on.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember it was the start of his heel turn, so I'm thinking it was Jeff Hardy.
Punk cashed in his Money in the Bank contract after Batista beat down World Heavyweight Champion Edge. Then he won the title.
There we go. Yeah.
And that's when Orton punted him on a pay-per-view and he had to forfeit his title.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, John Cena is getting ready for a title match. Claims he never lost the title. It was taken from him due to injury. Then we have Randy Orton and Triple H in their locker rooms just staring intently. Then we move on to the Hall of Fame ceremony. The inductees are Gordon Sully, who was a commentator for Georgia Championship Wrestling. We have Eddie Graham, who is the booker promoter for Florida Championship Wrestling. He trained Dirty Dick Slater, J.J. Dillon, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. We have Jack and Jerry Briscoe, who were successful tag and individual stars with the NWA. before Jerry was a stooge. We have Mae Young. She tried to take her clothes off until Mike Graham saved WrestleMania. Rocky Johnson and Peter Maivia. So The Rock's nepotism started in 2008.
I think it started before then.
Maybe. I know they just inducted a stupid mom into or grandma for nothing. So Ric Flair was also the last inductee. We saw Charlotte Flair's original face. We also saw her less attractive sister, and that's saying something. David Flair, who only looks like he's wrestling his weight at this point, and Reed Flair. And Howard Finkel's in the ring. He introduces the Hall of Fame class of 2008. Everybody came out. And Todd Grisham, who was the geek we couldn't remember last WrestleMania, he introduced the master ceremonies for the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjack match. And it was Snoop Dogg. Snoop says that he likes seeing the wrestlers past and present, and he loves seeing the bunnies do their thing. But Snoop found someone who he can really connect with on an intellectual level. It was Festus, Dr. Gallows. Santino interrupted, calls Snoop Mr. Snoopity Dog. Snoop says, "What do you want, Santino?" Santino says he will be ringside at the Lumberjack match, and Snoop better watch himself. Snoop grabs a ring bell that just so happens to be sitting off on the side and rings it. Festus's inner Tard demon awakens, and he chases off Santino. Grisham inquires about the origin of the ring bell that Snoop just used. Snoop says he knows a friend. Ain't that right, Mick Fizzle? Mick Foley. Mick Foley comes in. Bizzle, bizzle. Ow, have mizzle. And Snoop has the nerve to walk off shaking his head when he just awakened a Tard demon to run off a Canadian with a fake Italian accent.
Yeah.
Foley pulls out a pimped out Mr. Sacco and says, "Have a nice dizzle."
Oh, that's Snoop Dogg. I guess it wasn't his fault. It was more Mick Foley's fault.
It was all their fault. Everybody involved. Then they want the fans to vote on the WWE Championship triple threat match after all that rotten horse shit.
Yeah.
So we get Batista versus Umaga. It's a battle for brand supremacy. GMs William Regal and Teddy Long are there to represent their respective brands. And they were there just to announce their guy's name. And aside from the machine gun thing, Batista has the most awkward entrance. Like, he just jumps around and twirls, and his timing sucks.
I like it all.
Okay. Well, it starts with fists a-flying. Batista shoulder tackles Umaga out of the ring. Umaga gets in the ring, hits Batista with a spin kick after taking a kick to the sternum. Umaga does a picture-perfect big boot to Batista on the apron, sending him to the floor. Back in the ring, Umaga hits Batista's back with a standing splash. Umaga proceeds to work on Batista's back, taking the power game away from the animal. Batista tries to fight back, but gets punched in the Adam's apple. Umaga does a nerve hold, tries to do a diving headbutt. Batista rolls out of the way. Batista tries a scoop slam, but then they end up doing the Luger spot because Batista's back is fucked up. Umaga does another nerve hold. Batista tries to fight out of the nerve hold and gets Samoan dropped. Then Umaga tries to drag Batista in the corner. Batista gets to his feet, tries to throw Umaga into the opposite corner. Umaga reverses it, sends Batista in the initial corner. Batista charges Umaga. Umaga snatches Batista and goes for the Samoan spike. Batista just catches it. And then Batista gets pushed to the corner again. Umaga goes for a stinger splash. Batista dodges it. Umaga's head goes off the ring post. Batista hits a spine buster, then signals for a torture rack for some reason. Then Batista hits the ugliest Batista bomb, 1, 2, 3. I thought it was a nice little story that they told with Batista's back. Also, Umaga was super over. I like that little ooh, ooh, Umaga chant that they had.
Yeah, I think this was before he actually turns heel. I'm sorry, turns face at some point. So I don't know why they would do that. But I think this is a little bit before that. So, but it was a good match. I don't know. It seemed like it was just thrown on the card though.
A little bit.
Brand supremacy. Like, well, then where's ECW?
Fuck ECW.
Yeah.
Well, we cut to Jim Ross. Ross says the Giant Mayweather match was recently set as anything goes, and he doesn't like Mayweather's chances. Then they cut to Mayweather in a tiny room, laughing while 7 other men show off their jewelry. Then they do a fucking tail of the tape. Ross says, bottom line, it's lopsided. Then they cut to Joey Styles and Taz. They got into the Giant Mayweather discussion before talking about the Battle Royal that happened before the show. It was an opportunity to challenge. It was for an opportunity to challenge Chavo Guerrero Jr. for the ECW Championship. Kane ended up eliminating Mark Henry for the win. Which brings us to Chavo Guerrero Jr. from El Paso, Texas, versus Kane for the ECW Championship. And GM Armando Estrada did the introductions. And I was really digging Chavo's little Mexican freedom fighter gimmick, which I bet was awesome.
Yeah. I was a little taken aback that he was the ECW champion, though.
Doesn't
The
matter.
ECW champion.
Yeah.
We know what they represent. ACW, you know what it represents. And he was the champion.
Well, the last WrestleMania, we just saw the New Blood versus original ECW guys, and they just had a normal tag match.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, was it though? Sabu
Yes.
had a hardcore spot.
I don't remember
Like
any.
they found a way to sneak in some hardcore. It was definitely watered down from what it used to be, though. It was WWE'd.
Well, Kane's music hits. We get the pyro. And Chavo's just waiting in the ring. And then Kane, the demon, the big red monster, sneaks up behind Chavo for some reason. But at least he waited for Chavo to turn around and the bell to ring before hitting a chokeslam. 1, 2, 3. Shortest match ever. Kane celebrates with the title, and we're on to the next match.
Another match was like, what? Why? Why is it on the card? Like, we got a 4-hour show, and you're sneaking this on there.
Maybe there was a story. Who knows? Carlito and Maria Kanellis are having drinks. It's a tropical resort. Carlito's trying to get Maria to fuck him instead of Santino Marella. A seagull attacks Carlito while mariachi music starts to play really loudly. The seagull bites Carlito's nose. Carlito smashes the seagull repeatedly onto a table. The seagull bites Carlito's ear, bottom lip, and nipple. Cut to Maria horrified. The loud mariachi music stopped. Cut back to Carlito. The loud mariachi music resumes, and Carlito is ground and pounding the seagull. Feathers are flying everywhere. Then they flash a cheap-looking WrestleMania 24 postcard with an ugly lifeguard on it. Cut back to Maria and Carlito. Carlito still wants to fuck Maria. He has seagull feathers in his hair. A bird shits on Carlito. WrestleMania!
Yep, the biggest show of the year, the biggest show in the industry.
That almost... This segment broke me. I
Why
turned...
so?
How so?
I said, why so?
We had Carlito fighting a fucking seagull. The seagull bit his nipple.
Well, that seagull...
He mugged...
What was
he
that
mugged in
seagull's
front of the-
problem, too? Like,
Vince McMahon.
so unnecessary. He's just trying to get it in. That seagull was a cock blocker, is what that was.
Yeah, I had to shut this down for a couple of days before I went back to it. God, that was awful.
It was just one of those
Stupid, pointless, embarrassing.
time wasters is what I was going for there. But yes, all those words probably too.
Like imagine watching WrestleMania 24 with somebody. You can kind of justify the midget getting a trash can thrown in his face. You can kind of justify Kim Kardashian. You can justify McDizzle. But then once you get to fucking Carlito with the mariachi music, fighting a seagull and the nipple bitings, and no.
I will say, to be fair, my son did not say anything about that.
He should have.
He to date, the one thing that made him like say something was I forgot, it was a few WrestleManias ago where Triple H pulled out a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And he's like, why does he need a sledgehammer? It's like, really? Out of all we just saw, that's what.
Okay. Well, after that, Raven Simone said some shit. Fuck her.
I'm sure it was about the attendance. Seems like the time they do the attendance thing.
Then we get Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. This is a career-threatening match. Video package starts with Michaels announcing that Flair is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. And then he makes it a point to say that he's looked up to Flair his entire career. Flair is his idol and friend. Then they play a Flair highlight reel to really, really bad music. McMahon shows up out of nowhere, tells Flair if he loses one more match, his career is over. Flair says the only thing that can make his career bigger is to wrestle Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Michaels says no way. He doesn't want to be remembered for ending Ric Flair's career. Flair says if he can't compete with the best, then he doesn't want a career. Michael says he's going to give Flair everything he has. Flair says, good. And then they shake hands. Then Michael stops, has a little smile, turns around, and starts talking about Old Yeller. Says at WrestleMania, he's taking Flair behind a woodshed, and he's putting him out of his misery. Well, Flair unbuttons his shirt to reveal his old man flab, and then he starts slapping Michaels, saying, I've got your Old Yeller. Michaels repeats that he's putting Flair out of his misery and just walks away. When Mike Adamle interviews Flair before the match, he wants to know what Flair's game plan is since he's walking in the match with so much to lose. Flair says to be the man, woo! Then it cuts back to Adamle and he has disappeared. So we get the match. Starts off with Michaels getting off to an early advantage. Then they trade hammerlocks until Flair gets Michaels with a drop toe hold. They lock up, start tussling in the corner. Flair shoves Michaels, starts screaming, Old Yeller! Michaels slaps Flair, busts his lip open. HBK tells Flair he can leave now. Flair says, first blood, brother! Then he starts chopping and punching Michaels in the corner. Flair shoots Michaels in the ropes, drops him with an elbow, then hits a knee drop. Michaels does a Flair bump from the top ropes. Lawler said Flair has taken a page from his own book. Like he purposely gets on the top rope so his opponent can throw him off. Flair goes to the top rope. Michaels tries to Flair bump him, but gets punched in the face. Flair hits Michaels with a cross body. It looks like Flair's setting up for a figure four. Michaels shoves Flair out of the ring with his free leg. Michaels goes for a springboard moonsault to the outside. Flair moves. Michaels crashes in the announce desk. Looks like Shawn's stomach landed on the very edge of the desk. So I'm sure that hurt really bad. They get back in the ring. Flair beats Michaels' ass, hits a few suplex variations. Michaels hits Flair with a neck breaker out of nowhere. dumps Flair back in the ring floor with a back body drop. Michaels does a moonsault to Flair from the top rope to the floor. Looked like Flair didn't quite catch Michaels, so he just kind of slammed to the floor. They crawl back to the ring, start trading blows, mostly chops. Michaels hits his flying forearm, does a kip up. Michaels hits Flair with 2 inverted atomic drops, a scoop slam, and an elbow drop. Michaels very reluctantly starts tuning up the band. Fans start to boo. Michaels goes for the super kick, but then he pulls back. He just can't do it. Flair, realizing this, takes Michaels down by the legs and locks in the figure 4. After a brief struggle, Michaels ultimately reverses the figure 4. Then they start trading wrestling holds and pin combinations. Flair whips Michaels into the corner, then meets him with a chop block to the legs on the rebound. Flair goes for another figure 4. Michaels counters with a small package. Flair kicks out, grabs Michaels' leg again. Michaels goes for an enziguri, misses. Flair locks in the figure 4. Michaels writhes in pain, tries to crawl to the ropes. Flair drags him right back to the middle of the ring. Michaels tries to reverse it again. Flair just rolls through it so he can maintain the leverage. Finally, Michaels reaches the ropes and escapes the figure 4. Flair starts putting the boots to Michaels. He's showing frustration now. Stops to fix his hair and strut, though. So I guess he's not that frustrated. Michaels super kicks the distracted Flair. Everyone gets to their feet. Michaels crawls to Flair, who kicks out at 2. Michaels starts to tune up the band again. Flair won't get up, so Michaels walks over to him and screams at him to get up. Michaels goes to tune up the band again. Flair still won't get up. So then Michaels goes to pick up Flair on his feet. Flair mule kicks Michaels right in the balls. Ref made sure Flair was okay. Then he actually tried to win with a low blow. And he didn't. Michaels gets Flair and what I assume what you would call a figure 4, because it wasn't. Like, he didn't even have it properly locked in. But Flair escaped.
Oh, it was yeah, I forgot what they called it. A reverse figure 4 or something? No, it wasn't a reverse.
It was a modified figure 4 or something.
They had a name for it.
It was awful because, like, the leg that would actually hurt you, he didn't even have it locked in. So he just, I don't know. Basically, Flair stood there with his leg crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Flair escaped with the thumb to the eye. Flair tries to win with the schoolboy. He may have had the tights, according to JR. They trade chops some more until Michaels hits a sweet chin music out of nowhere. It's like the big right hand, but it's the big right boot. Michaels goes to hesitantly tune up the band once more. Flair cooperates this time and starts to get up. Flair gets to his feet all fucked up and all but finish. He tells Michaels it's not over. Michaels looks at Flair in the corner. Flair's beat. He just doesn't know it yet. And Michaels just looks at Flair, says, "I'm sorry. I love you." Then he kicks Flair's teeth down his fucking throat. 1, 2, 3. The moment Michaels had with the visibly sobbing Flair is like etched in my wrestling memory forever. Because like he immediately drops and they're kind of embracing and you can see Flair just openly weeping.
Because he knew that was it for now.
I don't think he knew it was it. It's like, this is the last good paycheck I'm going to have for a while.
Well, he knew that was it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Ric Flair, brother. I'm going to get, and I think he was close to 60 at this time. So, yeah, he's close to 60. So it should really have been it.
Yeah. On a lighter note, we did see glimpses of Shawn Michaels' infant bald spot.
Yeah.
And Michaels doesn't celebrate. He just goes to the back. Flair's left in the ring sobbing. Fans give him a standing ovation. They cut to Charlotte's original face. She's crying. So is Reed. The fat, ugly sister wasn't as emotional. And David was probably at concession. Flair leaves the ring. He has a moment with his family. David made it back from concession just in time. And the fat, ugly sister managed to squeeze out a couple tears. Flair walks to the back with the roar of the crowd, tears running down his cheeks. He spares the crowd one last glance before leaving the entrance ramp for the last time as a wrestler. It was a perfect fucking ending to a career that Flair just had to dig up and fuck.
Yep, you couldn't just let that be it. And yeah, one of the greatest moments of WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels really brought Flair to a good match, because Shawn Michaels was doing all the work on the match. Yeah, Flair had some moments, but I don't know. I just felt like Shawn Michaels really carried the match, as he should have. He's half Flair's age at this point. But Ric Flair, you see, you can do it so long if you're Flair and the old school type people, because you're not flipping and flopping all over the place. You're telling a story in the ring. You can do that forever. You can be 80 years old doing that, unless you have a heart attack in the middle of a match, as he would when he came back. But yes, very, very, very memorable moments, WrestleMania moments.
Yes,
This is why we watch.
Yeah, all that bullshit for these handful of good matches.
Yep. This is why seagulls get to bite nipples, so we can get to stuff like this.
Well, Todd Grisham's back. He interviewed Edge, the World Heavyweight Champion, who's facing off against the 16-0 Undertaker. Edge says we already saw a career and we'll see more history at the end of the night. Edge says we already saw the end of a career, and we'll see more history at the end of the night. Edge talks about being a kid sitting in front row at WrestleMania 6, watching his hero Hulk Hogan. And on that day, Hogan lost. Edge says seeing Hogan lose stole all of his innocence. But that's okay, because when he beats Undertaker tonight, he'll be crushing the spirit of some child in the audience wanting the Undertaker to win. And he'll pluck that child's innocence, which was a weird thing to say. Edge says he's walking out tonight with the true Phenom and still World Heavyweight Champion. And we're halfway through WrestleMania at this point, and they made sure to make a big deal about that.
Only half.
Beth Phoenix and Melina versus Maria Kanellis and Ashley Massaro. Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match. Snoop came out in a Mercedes golf cart that had a tiger-striped interior. The Lumberjills danced like idiots behind Snoop as he slowly drove to the ring in the golf cart. Snoop said some shit. Maria Kanellis and Ashley Massaro came out. Ashley dropped the punk look and is now just a full-blown whore. Maria was on the cover of Playboy this year, so she joined Ashley Massaro as Playboy whores.
Was
Melina,
Ashley on Playboy?
Yeah, she was on Playboy last year.
Oh. I had no interest in going to see that.
Melina and Phoenix came out. They're escorted by Santino. Melina did her split thing. Batista has been training her hard at this point. Then they start fighting. It was at least a proper lumberjack match, and the fact that the lumberjacks beat the shit out of any competitor unfortunate enough to find herself outside the ring. So that was good. Maria did a Bronco Buster. They cut to Snoop grinning like he just had a lobotomy. Lights go out, which was a sign from God. Phoenix ended up spearing Melina to the outside. Ashley jumped on Melina from the apron for no reason. Maria gets a face buster on Phoenix. Santino breaks up the pin. Lawler, no Snoop Dogg, gets up and decks Santino. Phoenix hit Maria with a fisherman suplex 1-2-3. They cut to Snoop, who's still lobotomized. Santino celebrates in the ring for some reason. Snoop decks him too. Then starts kissing Maria, which was gross as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this match.
Snoop's little lizard lips, just, yeah, fuck this shit. And we still have Giant Mayweather to suffer through.
Yep, that is still to come. And remember, we just had Flair's retirement moment, so I'm
Yes.
still holding on to that.
John Cena versus Triple H versus Randy Orton, WWE Championship. And then the video package, Triple H is coming back from a torn quad, and John Cena is coming back from a torn pec. And we weren't even sure Cena is going to even make it to WrestleMania. Triple H won an Elimination Chamber match. Cena won the Royal Rumble. Meanwhile, Orton has been a ruthless champion. Cuts to RKO highlights. William Regal decided to have all three face each other at WrestleMania for some reason. Cut to more highlights. Orton, Cena, and Triple H all say how they're going to win the match. Then a marching band plays My Country 'Tis of Thee. Then they play Cena's theme. Now we know why Cena was wearing a football jersey. It was all so stupid. I fucking hate Cena. God, I hate Cena. Cena ended up winning the fan vote from earlier. The only thing noteworthy was Orton got like 8%. So no love for Orton.
Yep, no one thought he was going to walk out as champion.
Nope. Triple H's entrance was surprisingly tame. Orton didn't get much of an entrance either. Cena got booed during his stupid shadow boxing ring announcement thing, as he should. There's also a group of fans that had "We Hate Cena" shirts in the front row, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Starts off with Cena and Triple H talking shit. Orton blindsides Triple H with the title belt. Cena starts whooping Orton's ass, hits a facebuster and a fisherman suplex. Triple H recovers, tosses Cena out of the ring, starts kicking Orton's ass. Triple H tosses Orton out of the ring. 2, so they can fight on the announce desk. Then they get back in the ring. Triple H locks in a sleeper hold to Orton. Cena comes out of nowhere, tries an FU to both guys at once. Triple H climbs off and kicks Cena in the balls. Triple H talks shit to the fallen Cena. Orton uses the opportunity to strike with a backbreaker. Orton starts stomping on Cena and Triple H's appendages, then hits each with a knee drop. Orton goes to the top rope. Cena cuts him off. Triple H comes from behind and lifts Cena on his shoulders. Orton hits Cena from the top rope with a crossbody, but Cena rolls through and goes for an FU on Orton. Triple H tries to stop it, but Cena kicks him. Orton counters the FU in a sunset flip. Then Triple H goes for a clothesline to Orton. Orton ducks. Cena gets it. Orton follows up by taking Triple H out with a clothesline. Orton does a double hanging DDT. He coils up for the RKO. Cena's the first one to his feet. Orton strikes. Cena catches Orton, throws him onto Triple H. Then Cena hits a reverse blockbuster and a leg drop from the top rope. Then he goes for an STFU. Orton crawls out of the ring. Cena gives chase out of the ring. Orton was waiting. Throws Cena in the ring post. Orton gets back in the ring and starts fighting with Triple H. Triple H does a hanging knee drop to Orton in the corner. Triple H starts working on Orton's leg. Cena tries to get back involved. Triple H takes him out with a clothesline. Orton hits an RKO to Triple H out of nowhere, but Triple H rolled out of the ring. Cena gets Orton in an STFU, and after a long-ass time, Orton reaches the ropes, but it looks like he's about to pass out. With Orton's last ounce of strength, he reaches for the bottom rope, but he comes up too short, and he has no more fight left in him. But Triple H comes out of nowhere to drag Orton to the bottom rope, saving the match and his title shot, which was awesome. Triple H drags Cena out of the ring, tosses him into the steel steps again. Then he gets back in the ring, locks in an Indian deathlock to Orton. Cena came out of nowhere to break up the hold. Cena tosses Triple H out of the ring, locks in another STFU on Orton. Looks like Orton's about to pass out again. Triple H comes in to stomp Cena in the face, attempting to break the hold. Triple H starts prying Cena off of Orton, then locks in a crossface on Cena. Crowd certainly woke up for that. Like, of course, Triple H is going to do the crossface. Cena ends up crawling to the ropes. Triple H and Cena start trading punches. Cena gets the better of the exchange. Cena hits a double shoulder tackle, hits a modified powerbomb, hits the 5-knuckle shuffle, and the FU. But Triple H escapes the FU, counters with a pedigree, Cena reverses the pedigree, goes for the STFU. Triple H shoves Cena into the corner with his free leg. Then he hits Cena with a knee, a clothesline, and a spine buster. Triple H starts sizing Cena up for the pedigree, notices Orton recovering, takes him out with a chop block. Cena uses the distraction to go for an FU on Triple H. Triple H escapes, hits a pedigree, goes for the pin. Orton punches Triple H right in the face. Orton covers Cena 1, 2, 3. The We Hate Cena fans were overjoyed. And the pedigree is still protected as fuck. And this was Cena's first WrestleMania loss, which he is now 4-1.
It was?
Yes.
That's surprising. But he didn't take the pin either, so there's that.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah. He got pedigreed. Triple H got punted.
Triple H got punted. Okay.
And then Orton pinned Cena. That's why the pedigree is fucking protected as shit. That was the finishing move.
It was. This is amazing. Even more amazing that Cena lost. The poster child has lost. Yep. And Orton walks out as champion, which is also surprising. And I remember he said before something like, you know, he's undoubtedly will be the greatest once he walks out as champion. Well, he did it. So.
The Giant versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a no disqualification match. Giant is completely bald now. Money starts raining from the sky when Mayweather's music hits. Because get it?
Because he's Floyd Money Mayweather.
Mayweather comes out with 100 guys wearing parachute boxing trunks. Starts off with Mayweather running away. Mayweather gets ineffective gut shots on the Giant. Mayweather starts out boxing the Giant and talking shit. Giant needs a break. The fucking Giant needs a break. So the Big Show tries to cheap shot Mayweather, but ends up kicking the ass of one of Mayweather's friends. Big Show catches one of Mayweather's punches, then tries to stomp on his fist. Big Show snatches Mayweather by the throat, sits him on the corner so Mayweather can freely punch him in the face. Mayweather locks in a sleeper hold. The crowd justifiably starts booing this horse shit. Big Show actually fades, but recovers, tosses Mayweather gingerly over his shoulder and stomps the fist. Big Show shishes Mayweather in the corner. Mayweather's friends yell at the ref saying this can't happen in a no disqualification match. Big Show stands on Mayweather, hits a sidewalk slam and a leg drop on his arm. Big Show walks over Mayweather. Big Show elbow drops Mayweather, then goes for a second one, and Mayweather's bitch friends pull him out of the ring. Big Show tries to give chase, brings Mayweather back to the ring. Big Show knocks out one of Mayweather's friends, then goes for a choke slam. One of Mayweather's other friends hits Big Show with a chair. Big Show slaps the chair out of the hand and hits a choke slam on Mayweather's friend. Mayweather gets the chair and hits Big Show. Big Show ends up snatching Mayweather for a choke slam. Mayweather kicks Big Show in the balls. Mayweather clobbers Big Show with the chair again, then pulls off gold brass knuckles from a fucking necklace one of his stupid friends wore. Mayweather slugs Big Show with it, and just now, right this second, 10 counts are included in the match. Big Show can't answer it. Mayweather wins and goes to celebrate with his fucking stupid friends.
Yep. You know, it kind of reminds me of Rocky, Hulk Hogan, and when he did the appearance in Rocky.
How did that remind you of Rocky and Hulk Hogan?
I don't know, because it's so over the top, like the greatest boxer versus the biggest athlete. Like that's I don't know. It just felt like so wrestling that it was such a carny act. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like if you were gonna go to a circus and you got the wrestling in that little red and white tent. It's like this is something you would see there. The the biggest athlete we have versus the greatest boxer we have.
All this did was expose the wrestling business. This didn't showcase the Big Show. This didn't highlight Mayweather.
What do you mean? He got so much offense on Mayweather.
Bullshit.
on
Come
him.
on. And the fact that he did get offense on Mayweather is even more of a joke. Big Show gets his hands on Mayweather. It's done. It is done. He fucking walked on Mayweather. All 500 fucking pounds of him walked on his tiny little ass. And then he can still swing a chair after that. Fuck you. Everybody involved should get fucking dysentery.
Well, I do hope that that's the last time I ever have to watch that match again. But I could see, I don't know, something about it was like, this is like, this is wrestling right here. But I never want to watch it again.
We get another WrestleMania 24 advertisement. And life imitated art because Batista ruined a marriage proposal on a beach. So I just envision John Morrison and Melina. And then Batista comes in. Because the guy was proposing to the lady and Batista came in, called the dude a fruit. And the girl's like, "Oh, I like you now, Batista."
That's how it works.
Kim Kardashian did the attendance, 74,635.
Way to go, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. She got those numbers right, though. She didn't mess that up.
Good. She can read.
She can. She's a powerful businesswoman right there. She doesn't know that yet, but she will be. And then she'll date. Anyway.
Undertaker versus Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship. In the video package, we're celebrating the Undertaker being undefeated at WrestleMania. 15 men have stepped up to the Undertaker. 15 men have fallen. And then there's a 15-1 graphic flashing, and Edge's theme music starts to cut in. And Edge cashed his Money in the Bank contract to win his first World Heavyweight title. So he doesn't see Taker as a threat, but an opportunity to further cement his legacy. Edge screwed the Undertaker out of winning his belt again, then somehow won it back himself. Edge says for 15 years, everyone who has been asking who will defeat the Undertaker, or for 15 years, everyone has been asking who will defeat the Undertaker. Well, I am that man. Cuts to Undertaker beating up Edge, Seth Meyers, and Zack Ryder. Undertaker says he doesn't say he takes souls, he just does it. Then it cuts to highlights of Undertaker kicking ass, one of which was Vickie Guerrero getting tombstoned. Kind of cool. Then we get highlights of Undertaker and Edge beating each other's ass. Edge says 15-0 dies at WrestleMania. Undertaker is concertoed. Undertaker got druids and fire for his entrance again. Teddy Long brings out Vickie Guerrero in a wheelchair for Edge's entrance. They made out. Shades of Eddie Guerrero right there. Starts off with Undertaker slashing his throat. Then Edge pummels Taker. Taker cuts Edge off with a clothesline, dumps him out of the ring. Edge runs back into the ring. Taker ends up hitting him with a stunner on the apron. Taker works on Edge in the corner, hits a flying clothesline, goes for an old school. Edge counters it. Undertaker counters the counter. Then they basically just flipped each other. Undertaker chokes Edge in the corner. Ref breaks up the hold. Taker trots to the opposite corner. Taker rushes at Edge, leaps, and he rushes at Edge. He leaps, and then his ass hits Edge's face, and then Taker flips out of the ring, hitting the apron on the way. Edge speared the Undertaker in the barricade as he was trying to get in the ring. Undertaker tried to get in the ring again. Edge hits him with a baseball slide. Edge joins Undertaker out of the ring, starts kicking his ass. Edge somehow did a spinning neck breaker to Undertaker on the apron, which is really weird. They get back in the ring. Edge works on Taker from the corner, especially his back. Undertaker tries to fight back with a few punches and a headbutt. Then he picks up Edge and they do the Luger spot because Undertaker's back is fucked up from Edge's assault. So they're lazy because they just did that with Batista. Edge tries to go for the top rope. Taker just pushes him off to the floor. Undertaker hit his suicide dive, and 2 people tried to get a holy shit chant going. Taker hits his... What's that?
I said they failed that one.
They sure did. You just hear, holy shit, and then nothing. Taker hits his apron leg drop. Coach called it a drop kick. They get back in the ring. Taker goes for his last ride, but his back fails him. Edge kicks Undertaker in the face. They go to fight outside the ring again. Edge back to belly suplexes Undertaker into the barricade. They get back in the ring. Edge locks in a half Boston Crab. Undertaker fights out after a long struggle. And at what cost to his back? Edge locks in a weird leg submission. Probably doesn't hurt a single bit. Taker fights out. They start trading punches. After an awesome exchange, Taker eventually gets the advantage. Like, that was probably like the best trading punch spot I've ever seen. Because Edge just looked like he was he was just, swinging on instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he stood toe to toe with Undertaker. It was really good. I think that part of that match made me think that Edge is a main eventer.
I like all the counters he had.
That too. Like he wasn't just there to be a wrestling dummy for Taker. He was there to play.
Yeah.
Undertaker does a few avalanches, a snake eyes, goes for a big boot. Edge catches him with a leg drop. Edge goes for a top rope move. Taker catches Edge for a choke slam. Edge blocks it, grabs a hold by grabbing a hold of the ref. Taker goes for a second choke slam. Edge counters with an impaler DDT. Edge sizes Undertaker up for a spear. Taker kicks Edge in the face mid-spear and finally hits the choke slam. Undertaker goes for old school again. Edge crotches him on the ropes, then hits a superplex. Edge starts working on Taker in the corner, starts doing the 10 punches. Taker counters with the last ride attempt. Edge escapes the last ride and hits a neck breaker. Edge and Undertaker trade blows again, then Undertaker hits his last ride finally. Undertaker goes for a tombstone. Edge escapes, does a move. Then Undertaker hits a big boot and an old school, then takes out the referee after doing a second big boot. Edge does a reverse DDT to Undertaker and starts talking shit. Taker grabs Edge by the throat while still on his back. Edge kicks Undertaker in the dick as soon as he gets up. Edge goes to the ring, to ringside, grabs a camera, clocks Undertaker with it. Edge tries to revive the ref. The ref stands up, just rolling out of the ring. Or the ref just ended up rolling out of the ring. It's kind of funny. Undertaker sits up and stands groggily. Edge does a throat slash and tries to tombstone Undertaker. Undertaker, of course, counters and hits a tombstone of his own. But there's no referee. But dumb fuck Undertaker makes the cover anyway. So little Nate starts hauling ass from the back to the ring. And Edge kicks out at 2. So then Zack Ryder and Seth Meyers come out to get their asses kicked by Undertaker. Edge hits a spear while the dead man was distracted. Both men crawl to opposite corners. Edge hits another spear. Taker decides to do a Hell's Gate from that. Edge taps. And then we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. And the Undertaker is 16-0. Edge is also bleeding from his mouth.
Yeah, this was back when the Hell's Gate made people bleed from their mouth. Because they're getting it over.
I didn't know that was part of it. I do know Undertaker got speared and then just decided to do a submission move from the spear.
Well, Edge kind of walked right into it.
I guess.
With how weird he was trying to pin the Undertaker. I mean, he was just trying to pin him. But yeah, he walked right into it and then into the Hell's Gate.
Well, we say goodnight and we end with the highlight reel.
I will say it is crazy that they get those video packages ready so fast.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. Well, after the show, WWE was criticized for a malfunction in the pyrotechnics during the Undertaker's victory celebration. During the celebration, a hot cable was sent flying into the audience.
Hmm.
And it was the upper seating bowl of the
It's a
stadium.
lawsuit.
Yeah, 45 were injured, requiring some hospitalization.
Jesus.
The accident was apparently due to a fireworks cable snapping, resulting in the fireworks exploding on the top rows of the upper bowl of the stadium. WWE's corporate website released a statement afterwards saying that they would investigate the incident, but the results of the investigation were never released. On the following episode of Raw, Ric Flair made a farewell speech. Triple H introduced various people from Flair's past. It was the Four Horsemen, Ricky, Steamboat, and others. Each came out to give an emotional farewell. The entire WWE roster came out to say thank you to Flair, including The Undertaker, who came out after Raw went off the air and hugged Flair and did his little kneeling stance thing. Shawn Michaels, who was clearly upset about retiring Flair, was forgiven by Flair. But despite Flair's forgiveness, his former protege, Dave Bautista, later started a flare with Michaels, citing Michaels was selfish for not laying down for Flair. So the two had a match at Backlash. Jericho was later added as a special guest referee, and Michaels won.
Oh, surprising.
The feud between Randy Orton, John Cena, and Triple H continued with the added involvement of JBL. I don't know why. Led to a fatal four-way elimination match at Backlash. Triple H ended up winning his 7th WWE Championship by pinning Orton. And since Matt Hardy returned to WrestleMania, he continued his feud with MVP over the U.S. title. And they had a match at Backlash. Yeah, Hardy won. And the rivalries between The Undertaker and Edge, Kane and Chavo Guerrero continued with successful title defenses at Backlash. And on the May 2nd episode of SmackDown, General Manager Vickie Guerrero stripped Undertaker of the World Heavyweight Championship. It was because he continued to use an illegal chokehold, claiming she did it to protect the other wrestlers.
That Hell's Gate.
And that was WrestleMania 24. Next one is WrestleMania 25. This will be the last WrestleMania to feature ECW, but it is the first of the PG era.
Yay. Better times are ahead, obviously.
Yeah, I guess. Randy Orton versus Triple H for the WWE Championship is our main event. And if Triple H is counted out or disqualified, he loses the title. So I think it's pretty clear he's going to win that one. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. So it's going to be the one of two.
Oh,
And
was it this one or the next one that everybody heralds as the greatest WrestleMania wrestling match ever?
To me, they're both the same.
Oh,
There's
surprisingly, I haven't watched either one of them.
The two with Shawn Michaels and the two with Triple H are basically the same match for me.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched either one of them, or the one with Triple H.
Yeah, I mean, they're good matches. They're great matches. It's kind of all the same.
They're all going to bleed into each other.
Yeah. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules, or in an Extreme Rules match, is also at WrestleMania 25. So that'll be cool. But before all that, we have World War III by WCW first. It's in Auburn Hills, Michigan. We have Disco Inferno versus Perry Saturn for the TV title. We have Raven versus Scotty Riggs in a Ravens Rules match. Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Eddie Guerrero for the Cruiserweight title. So this is a rematch from their Mask versus title match and Halloween Havoc. And then we get Ric Flair versus Mr. Perfect again for the U.S. title. This is also a rematch from Havoc.
Yep, we're running it back. Hopefully, it'll be a straightforward match this time, as opposed to the last time. Wasn't straightforward.
No, not at all. But that is our Wrestling Rewind.
So much to look forward to. And at some point, we're going to sneak in a Bad Blood 1 review. I forgot which week that's coming up. It's on the calendar, though. But you said we got 3 weeks, so I guess it would be next week.
We have a Bad Blood 1 review?
Yeah, remember we're going to do Bad Blood ahead of Bad Blood.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I forgot what.
Okay. It's Bad Blood. So that would be the 28th. Not next show, the show after that.
Yeah, have it. So 28th is when we'll do the review, yeah. And then it'll go out and people will get to enjoy it.
So all the shit I said about WrestleMania 25, just forget about for now.
I mean, it's still there. Just we're going to take a detour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the. I'm trying. I heard that's why you got to keep like young people around so they can work the technology for you. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I had it written down. So anyway, as you said, it's the 28th, so we'll put that back on the list.
Yeah, that would be the week before the modern Bad Blood. Or we could do the original Bad Blood on the same day as the new Bad Blood. However you want to do it.
I think it'd be better to do it before.
Okay.
So that people can watch it before. I think that's going to be the most likely time that people will be watching it would be before.
Okay. Well, keep in mind, we're also like 10 videos behind on the retro.
You don't got to put that out there. They'll get there.
So those got to get up before the Bad
No,
Blood.
it doesn't have to go in order. We're going to... Bad
It has
Blood's
to go
going to
in
get
order.
moved to the front of the line.
No!
And then we're going to do the other ones.
Does not compute.
And again, these are like 20-year-old pay-per-views, so doesn't necessarily have to be in order. But on that note, guess we can go on to some news. And boy, do we got some news. The news was newsing this week, as they should say. And we'll start off here because it's a pretty light news. So Raw, we did our Raw review earlier, and it's kind of slipped in there that for the duration of the year, starting in October, Raw is moving to 2 hours. That is right. For the first time in, I think it was like 15 years, 13 or 15 years or so, because they started it at like Raw 1000, but they are cutting that 3rd hour. And there were some mixed emotions or reactions about that. There's new wrestling fans who only know of a 3-hour Raw. But you got the old heads like us who were there when it was 2 hours and enjoyed it when it was 2 hours.
I don't see how you could possibly complain about it getting shorter. Because that means less Piper Niven.
Well, and that's the problem that people have with it. Oh, but if you cut it down to 2 hours, Pure Fusion Collection's not gonna get TV time.
Oh no.
Or Natalia with her bazookas, and every time the camera cuts away and cuts back, and they get bigger, she's not gonna get TV time.
That would just break my heart.
And Maxine Dupree, you know, she's getting better in the ring. She's been a wrestler for like 2 years now, and she's making progresses. You see that body slam she did? She's not gonna get TV time.
I'm sold. Let's move to 2 hours.
But dang it. I was gonna try to keep going. One more. But LWO and Legato, they're not gonna get TV time so they can fight forever.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
So yeah, you know, there is ideally it's gonna take out some of the fluff. So we're not gonna have to sit through the talent that we don't need to sit through. Let's be honest. Like the bathroom break talent. And I do feel a little bad for them, but you know, you're just gonna have to get better to get on TV. That's
everybody can't be a star. Not everybody's gonna be, you know, featured. Just it's okay.
And I think so. Every wrestling show is 2 hours, and you got AEW with 9 million people. And they find time to get, you know, TV time for people. So I think they'll be able to figure it out if they really need to get people on people. Maybe they just have like a backstage segment or something. But yes, the cream should, in theory, rise to the top, and only the good stuff will make it, because you have to cut out the fluff.
Maybe the long ass promos will get cut off too.
Oh wait, also, but the Miz and his new feud with Karrion Kross, they're not gonna get TV time. That was the last one. Or just the Miz in general. Yeah, so there goes that. Let us know what you think in the comments on that one. We think it's a good thing collectively, and we go on. All right, next story. So if you were to head down into the description below next to the like button and click on the affiliate link, now you would have already had to have done this. It's not there now, but you would have seen a bracelet up on the Shop WWE. That bracelet was the same very bracelet that the last few months of TV has been built around. That is right. WWE had this bright idea to take the bracelet that this feud's been built over, that being CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and put it on Shop WWE Network, or I'm sorry, the WWE Shop. Now, I would assume you would think that's just WWE being WWE, right? They have to monetize everything they do.
It's currently $9.99.
It is, but there's a story behind it. So, yeah, you think it's just WWE being WWE? Oh, they're just monetizing everything. Well, there's one thing that they forgot to do, and that is they forgot to tell the person that made the bracelet that they were going to be doing this, which already tells you that they had no intentions on talking to her about royalties or, you know, some kind of tribute to her.
Why would they?
Because it's her bracelet.
It's not her bracelet.
She made
She
the
made a
bracelet.
fucking bracelet with, and she used the fucking Chicago flag as inspiration, and she put CM Punk in block letters. That's not fucking original. It's not an original design. It's a fucking 50-cent bracelet. She's just trying to get some fucking fame. Come on.
Oh, that's the other thing is 50-cent bracelet, and you just said they're selling it for $10. That's that's WWE inflation right there.
Well,
So let's take a look here. This was the.
there's nothing original about this bracelet. Like, there's nothing that this bitch can say that is her own.
I mean, she put it. I see what you're saying, but it was her idea. But
How is it her idea?
It wasn't WWE making this bracelet and then she copied it. She made it first, and then they copied it from her.
She made
And
a bracelet copying the Chicago flag.
So she got it from somewhere. She put Larry's name on it. She put AJ's name on it.
Well, this one just says CM Punk. So it's not even her bracelet.
Hold on. I'm getting there. So, yeah, she took to Twitter. And first thing she said, and this is how this story got on my radar. Like, they put the bracelet on. So she took to Twitter. Her name is Victoria. And before you go running and trying to search her out, this being to the audience, I'm 90% sure she's a lesbian. So save yourself the Instagram search. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. Just saying you really don't have a chance on this one. So
I'm not saying there's anything right with it either.
Just save yourself the search. But she took to Twitter and she said, the first thing she said was, a heads up would have been nice. LOL.
Fuck you.
And, you know, this is what brought it up on everybody's radar. And then she later said it was supposed to be a gift just for CM Punk, not the whole world. It's another thing that should be pointed out. It was a one of one. And if you're going to wear a bracelet, why would you wear a bracelet of CM, like Larry and AJ, who's near and dear to CM Punk's heart? And again, this was at the time that the bracelet was put out, it was the exact copy of what she made. So Larry and AJ were on the bracelet. So why would someone who is not married to AJ or the owner of Larry want that on their wrist?
Because of what the feud represents.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could see a kid wanting that. Just as I want the same one that CM Punk has, and there you go.
Well, think about it. You get a bracelet that says Larry and AJ on it. There's only going to be like maybe a handful of people that you run across throughout a day that would get the reference. So,
Yeah,
I mean, if you just have a bracelet with CM Punk on it, you just look like a CM Punk fan. But with the Larry and AJ bracelet, that's lore.
Right. And you had about one day to get that. Not even one day. You had a couple hours to get that bracelet. And I'm sure in a few months, if they actually ship them out, they'll be worth so much on eBay because, you know, you got like, I don't know, one of probably like 100 or 2 people would have ordered it at that small window. So it's going to be super rare. But yeah, let's go back to the lady here. She says, so this caused a stir, of course, her saying that the WWE didn't ask her. And people were both ways on it. Some people were like, you know, it's not like they stole art from you. They just put a bracelet, like you're saying. They put beads in a sequence. And like,
no, she's trying to say that they copied her fucking design. She copied the fucking Chicago flag. This cunt did not do anything creative. And for her to sit there, WWE needs to contact me because they made a Chicago bracelet that looks just like mine. Fuck her.
I mean, you know what they did.
No,
You know what they did.
and you know what she's trying to do. She's trying to fucking get a cash grab for something stupid.
Well, now she said she doesn't. I think they should have at least. I think they should have paid her some royalties.
Why?
They used her idea.
They used her bracelet on TV. That's enough.
Well, I guess she's getting exposure. That's currency now in 2024.
I hope she gets a baseball bat to the back of the head.
So, a few days or a few hours pass. She's getting bombarded on social media.
Good.
And then she says that thanks everybody for the kind words. No bad blood or anything with WWE. I just was a bit surprised seeing the bracelet online.
Like they would give a shit if this 2-bit cunt has bad blood with him. Come on.
If it were me, I'd be...
Just the ego and the fucking entitlement. I made a Chicago bracelet. It's my design. If you use a Chicago bracelet, then you need to ask me for permission. Fuck you.
Again, you know what they were doing.
And I know what she's doing.
Like they weren't not stealing her idea.
They didn't steal her idea.
They did steal it.
They didn't steal anything. Punk had a bracelet. They built a feud around this stupid fucking bracelet. Then they decided to make merchandise because the bracelet has been the fucking centerpiece of the whole thing. It has nothing to do with the stupid 2-bit cunt's unoriginal idea. She used the Chicago flag. She didn't do any original colors. She didn't do an original design. She didn't do original names. Nothing is original about this. So for her to make any claim that she's entitled to anything is absurd.
Well, I wouldn't say she claimed anything.
That's like lending somebody $10 and that person goes out and spends that $10 on a lottery ticket. And then they win money and then you're like, well, I lent you that $10, so that's my money now. Fuck you. No, it's not how that works.
I'll tell you what it's like. And this is a story I kind of let go, but I just thought about it right now. I'm going to bring it back up. So I told you I used to do the wrestling show a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing the wrestling show and I said something in the wrestling show. I just had a weird way of putting like something, a creative way, if you will. I had a big wrestling channel comment and said, "Oh, that was a great line." And guess what happened the next day? That very line, word for word, and copied the delivery of it too, was in their video.
So
They
your line
fucking stole it.
Your line, did you use the Chicago flag as inspiration for that line?
No, but
okay then. No, there's no but.
I'm saying they stole my idea.
But you're trying to make a case for this stupid bitch being upset at the WWE for using a Chicago colored bracelet.
She should be upset.
She shouldn't be.
She
needs to get over herself. She needs to get over herself.
Millions of dollars and they can't come up. You got a whole team and you can't come up with your own ideas.
That was their own idea.
Some little.
It was their idea to build a feud around a fucking bracelet. And then they put that bracelet on sale.
Well,
it's not
through all the backlash. Through all the backlash, they did go ahead and take the bracelet down.
Yeah.
And then a few hours later, they put a new bracelet back up. Pretty much the same design, but now we have the name of CM Punk instead of AJ and Larry.
Good.
So they realized that they did something wrong, and they
didn't do anything wrong. They just wanted to shut this stupid whore up.
Well, she wasn't making it.
She started it off by saying, "Oh, heads up would have been nice. They should have contacted me first." Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are?
She's a devoted fan.
She's a fucking idiot.
Why do you got me taking her side? I'm not even on her side.
I don't know why you're taking her side in the first place.
Because stealing people's ideas. Come on.
This was not. She stole an idea. She stole Chicago's idea. Did she clear it with Chicago before using their colors? Did she contact the Chicago mayor and say, "Hey, I'm making a bracelet out of the Chicago colors"? Is that
It's
okay?
not.
Do I need to send you royalties? Heads up would be nice, right?
I guess that is fair enough, but they didn't even change the description.
Good.
Look at that.
They shouldn't have changed anything.
Description. CM Punk keeps a reminder of his love. Keeps a reminder of his love for his wife and furry four-legged family member, Larry, in the form of a friendship bracelet. Take a trinket that reminds you of your loved ones whenever you go out, like the Second City Saint does, by making the CM Punk friendship bracelet yours. So they still, well, I guess they tied it together there. I don't know.
If it was my call, I would just edit the description to call that stupid bitch a whale.
Well, she's not a whale.
A crybaby.
She's, yeah. She's the opposite of a whale. She's probably not even 100 pounds.
Wow.
Which brings me back to the, don't go looking for her on Instagram. It's a waste of time.
Wouldn't look for her to begin with.
Not you. I'm talking to the audience.
Fucking crybaby. Sand in her vagina because somebody else used the idea she already stole. Fuck you.
Well, there's a little bit more to it here. So yeah, WWE, they take the bracelet down. They put up this new bracelet that you see on the screen here. For the audio listeners, it just says CM Punk is in place of Larry and AJ. And just to tie it up here, Drew McIntyre, he got involved because, Drew McIntyre never misses his chance to troll someone. And he says, he quote tweeted a little heads up would have been nice. And he says, all this bitching and moaning and crying, no wonder CM Punk is your hero. And I don't think you know who this person is, but there's this creator that's pretty active on Twitter. His name is Humble Wrestling. His avatar picture is that of Brock Lesnar, so that tells you everything you need to know about him. He got involved in this whole Twitter thread, and he said, he tweeted Drew McIntyre and said, "She cooked you last time, brother. You don't want any of this." And then Drew McIntyre, he rebutted and said to Humble Wrestling, "She's not going to shag you, brother." And so it was all funny. And then she came back and tweeted Drew McIntyre that he's twice her age but acts half of it. So,
oh yeah, she got him good.
And then yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, she cooked him again." You're clearly not a fan of her, but
no, I want Patrick Bateman to fucking meet her.
Well, that is the story. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was WWE in the right or in the wrong on using that bracelet?
100% right.
Without even trying to pay her royalties or anything.
Pay her royalties on the Chicago flag.
Yep. Next up, we got Logan Paul. Let me get a drink here because this is going to be a... So Logan Paul, he had quite the exchange with Kevin Nash. This also happened on Twitter. Did you catch any of this?
No.
All right, so it's okay because I think I got it. You'll get all the context here. So, where did this all start from? And it started from this clip here. The clip was Logan Paul having he did his impulsive podcast with Hulk Hogan. Seemingly everything Hogan said was newsworthy. And we start with this happening.
Oh, real quick, did you see that Hogan got trolled again?
He did?
Yeah, by the same guy.
Oh, no. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's an idiot. But yeah, he did the same shit. Oh, genocide, brother.
How did he get back in?
I don't know. But Hogan was funny because he was just kind of turning to his people and subtly gesturing to the guy, like, okay, there's this guy. And you just hear, oh, brother.
You know, it's funny. Or I wouldn't say it's funny, but that guy's lucky because remember we just watched the what was that pay-per-view where that stupid idiot crawled into the cage?
Oh yeah,
and got
it
taken
was
care
Havoc.
of. Like
Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, like if this was in the 80s, that guy would have been dealt with by Hogan himself.
If it was in the 90s.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was lying or not, but Hogan always talked about, like, you know, if someone ran up on him and said something, he's like, "Oh, now I got to beat your ass, brother." I guess it was just different times then. But yeah, so Hogan, he was on the Impulsive podcast. And this is the clip that starts this Kevin Nash thing. So let's go ahead and roll the clip. Actually, I'm going to do this here. I timestamped it, so let's
look at you being all fancy.
I know, right? So here we go.
I can't wait to see him turn you babyface. It's going to be great, but not yet.
Here it goes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
I have
yet.
no interest
Not
in doing
yet.
that. No, yeah, I think being a heel is fucking awesome.
But you got to realize, bro, this is not a work, okay? This is a shoot.
What?
The business is a shoot. Everybody's going to tell you it's a work. It's not a work.
What do you mean?
The business is a shoot.
I don't know if I understand
If I
the
wrestle
terms.
you right now,
Yeah.
and Vince pays you $1 million and he pays me $5 million,
Yeah.
is that a work or a shoot?
I don't know. I don't think I know the terms.
Let him explain it.
Oh, you don't know the terms?
What is a shoot? What is shoot? I know a work. What is a shoot?
Come on, you're bullshitting me.
He's not. He's serious.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Okay, thank you.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
It's not.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Okay, that's fine. How about this? Can you explain it to our audience at home?
Just
quickly that
fucking
doesn't
get to the
understand?
point. Jesus Christ.
Just no, shut up. He's gonna explain it to the audience. Logan,
No, stop.
Logan
I'll
knows what this
prediction.
means.
No.
Oh, we're gonna cut it there. So that is the point.
So
fact
that he pretended or allegedly didn't know what work or shoot meant?
That he didn't know what a shoot was. That was the point.
Allegedly. Because then he said he didn't. But then his boy is like, oh, no, he doesn't. Explain it, Hogan.
Yeah, that was the point.
Was that
He's-
supposed to be entertaining? Was that supposed to be funny? What was that supposed to be?
Well, they timestamped it as that was awkward.
Okay.
So that's the origin of what Kevin Nash goes off on. So
That?
yeah, because apparently so on Kevin Nash's Click This podcast, which is also available on YouTube.
Don't watch it.
The guy he's with, I don't know. his
John
name.
Oliver.
Watch schedule.
Yeah. So he asked about Logan Paul. So that very thing is cited, that clip. So that's why you needed to know that clip so you can know this part. So this is what Kevin Nash had to say about Logan Paul. Let's go ahead and roll it again. Please don't copyright us. Oh, is it sharing? Let me make sure. Yes, it is. Please don't copyright us, Kevin Nash.
Just when Hulk was saying, he said, business is shoot. And Logan Paul said, well, I don't know. He says, you know what a shoot is, right? And I could, because I saw it on Instagram, so it cut off. So I didn't get to see if they were ribbing him or what.
They were working him, I think, because Logan
Who knows?
Paul doesn't shoot work.
Before we go further, I just want to say, stop being a geek and using shoot and work. Let's start there.
Well, Hogan started that.
He did, but yeah, I'm just saying it's enough. Well, let's continue.
I'm tired of seeing the legit wrestlers with these fucking nobodies.
On the podcast.
Yeah, like Sean Oliver's not a nobody, but just every wrestler podcast is with this nobody, and it's like
it's like the
they're
format.
leeching off the fame of the wrestler, and it just bugs the shit out of me. It's like
Well-
if we just have Lance Storm as a guest host going forward. Hey, Lance.
From what I gather, it's just these people throwing questions at the star of the show. It's like,
Sometimes
"Oh, what about this?"
they actually get into it. Like their opinions are just as valid as the wrestlers.
Like, shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and continue here.
He's not one of the boys. Where would he learn that shit at? Where's he going up and down the road talking
Well.
our jargon? In the building? Everybody's in their own motor coach. There's no interaction. There's no socialization. You don't become one. You don't become one of the boys just because you're around them. That, from what I heard, he's making like $5 million for a limited, and those other are out there making house shows. F you. You. That's from the boys. You.
That's from
I don't
someone
give-
working the road schedule.
I don't
we've
give
been
a.
talking
I don't
about.
give a. How many people are following you? All that means, man, is if it said you had 24 million Rhodes scholars following you, man, I would be like, dude, you are Jesus. You got a bunch of idiots.
Followers
No
are what
thanks.
it's all about.
Well, maybe in their lives.
So that was Kevin Nash's. And by the way, he bleeped himself on this clip that I have here. On his full podcast, it's not unbleeped, and those bleeps you hear are the word fuck. So that's how many times he said it in that little span of in that paragraph. He said it like 1,000,000 times. But yes,
What was
That's
his
what-
point?
his point was, I guess, that Logan Paul's a part-timer and making so much money,
Okay.
so he's not, he's not in the business. He's an outsider.
Because he's making a bunch of money?
I guess so. Sounds like a little bit of sour grapes there, but
No, it's hypocrisy because didn't Kevin Nash have a favored nations clause with WCW? Didn't he leave WWF for WCW because of the money?
yes.
They got like there's an interview he had where they gave him a raise for no reason because they thought the fake Razor and Diesel debuted on Raw, and WCW thought Hall and Nash were going to WWE, so he just gave him a raise.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They
So
thought
this
they were gonna
motherfucker's
bring him in.
complaining about Logan Paul getting money for what? For not socializing?
Yeah, for not being there.
Okay, well, that's basically what Nash did. So he's a fucking hypocrite.
I would say so. It's always like that for whatever reason. It's like, oh, you just don't remember when you did it, or it was okay when you did it, but now that someone else is doing kind of the same thing
And better. Because let's face it, Kevin Nash is not he was not like the greatest technical wrestler. His promos and interviews sucked ass. So I mean,
But he
I
can
don't even know
draw.
where. Huh?
But he can draw. He got people in the building.
No, the NWO got people in the building. Kevin
Well, he
Nash.
was part of it. He was part of the brainchild of it.
No.
I
Eric-
know everybody's
Eric-
taking credit for that, but
Eric Bischoff, for all intents and purposes, was the brainchild. Or
Virgil.
New Japan, if depending on who you want to believe.
Yeah, see, everybody's trying to
Not
claim it.
one
Virgil.
fucking person said, "Oh, I want to go see Kevin Nash."
That's true. But what about his WWE run when he was supposed to be the guy?
When he was
It's
like
just
one of the worst drawing champions ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about then?
I think he would have been the worst if not for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he almost killed the company.
Yeah.
Being
So
champion.
fuck him. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's not worth $5 million. He never was. Somebody just gave him $5 million because he was a name from another company that backed into a good angle. That's it.
There's that.
Like, what's the Kevin Nash match? Or the Kevin Nash, aside from Hogan turning on Macho Man, he dropped Giant on his neck.
I don't remember, good moments from Kevin Nash. It's always like, oh, that Undertaker match was like weird, and
Yeah.
he barely got the Giant over his head, and the finger poke, obviously.
So Logan Paul might not be around the boys. He might not be one of the boys, but he takes what he does a whole hell of a lot more seriously than Nash ever did. And he looks a lot better doing it than Nash ever did. Nash was just tall.
Which, as Enzo Amore said, you can't teach that.
No, you can't. And it worked. I mean, being tall, especially in wrestling, is a good asset to have. But for him to just come out and one, he's not even wrestling anymore, so this shit doesn't even fucking affect him. But for him to just shed on Logan Paul for no reason, because he pretended not to know what shooting work meant.
Yeah, it did seem like it was just out of nowhere. But let's get to Logan Paul's rebuttal here. So Logan Paul, he took to, this is on Twitter, his Twitter, titled "Not a Work" at the real Kevin Nash. So let's see what he says. We're gonna share this tab.
Oh,
Go
God,
full
it's a
screen.
video.
It's a video. It's not too long. And away we go.
I got people messaging me. They're like, yo, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. I said, damn. Who is Kevin Nash? And I mean that. I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is his problem. I'm not as versed in the WWE and in wrestling as maybe I should be, as my peers are. But then how am I so much better than all of them? You know, I don't have the answers to these questions. It is a question. I don't know how I could be the best in the WWE or at least one of the best. Like, I'm surely a top fiver, and I don't even do it full time. Now imagine if I did learn a little bit. Imagine if I devoted, came one of the boys, learned what the difference between a shoot and a work was. Will that make me a champion? Fuck me. Fuck you. You're one of the old guys who is bitter that I am better at your job than you ever were. And that makes you pathetic. This will be my sport, and I will continue to make guys like you eat your words when I devote a little bit of time to it. So fuck me, fuck you.
And that was Logan Paul's rebuttal. And we've stopped since then. I'm sure Kevin Nash may have something to retort, but it'll have to come on his show whenever he does that show.
He'll laugh about it and he'll pick something small to make fun of and fuck Kevin Nash. Tired of him.
there we go. But that's the latest
Fuck
on the
Sean
Logan
Oliver
Paul.
too. While we're at it,
Was that the other guy sitting in the
Yeah.
room?
that's his. Sean Oliver did kayfabe commentaries. He was really big in the shoot interview shit. And that's really good stuff. Then he fell off of that, and he's doing a podcast with Kevin Nash. And yeah,
Well, podcasts are good.
no, not necessarily, because then you learn who the real people behind the microphone are when they're allowed to talk for extended periods of time.
Yeah, it does seem like a moment of like, the less I know about you is probably the better.
Yeah.
But I myself, I don't really. I'll see clips here and there, obviously, but I don't like sit down and listen to the entire podcast from ex wrestlers like Al Snow. I think it's Al Snow. He has a podcast. Him or Maven. Well, actually, they both are doing pretty good on the podcast realm, but I don't listen to them. Stevie Richards is actually who I was going for there. Stevie Richards. He has a YouTube channel. Apparently, he does good stuff on it, but I don't watch it, nor do I want to.
Yeah. He's okay.
And Maven too. He does. Apparently, he does good.
Maven's fuck Maven.
That guy beat the Undertaker. What a letdown that was, huh?
Yeah. I'm Maven. I used to be a WWE wrestler. Now I'm going to tell you about all about it.
Yeah, they're really exposing. Or again, I don't watch them, but it seems like from the titles and thumbnails, they're really trying to expose. Oh, how much I got paid for working at WrestleMania, or what weapons actually hurt. It's like, okay. But on that note, we got a couple more little quick hitters, which brings us to your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment. I don't know why I queued that up so early, because now I can't even find it. I can't find it.
I made a little playlist.
Oh, maybe that's where it is. Hold on. Be quiet, chat. We're going to get there, chat. Hold on. No, boy, this is really going. Oh, there it is. Okay. Golly, this is awkward. Golly, Jesus Christ. This is embarrassing. Okay. And on that note, it is time for your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheap Pops.
What does everybody want? What does everybody need?
Oh, another cheap pop.
What does everybody love?
Well, that cheap pop is there for the taking.
Coming up to the... Nope, stop it. God. All right, coming up today on Cheap Pops, AEW apparently is getting another show. Bobby Lashley posts on Instagram. Machine Gun Kelly, what? Motor City Machine Gun, find a new home. That and so much more. Well, just a little bit more. And let's start at the top. AEW. They apparently have gotten another TV show. Now, this isn't inked. This isn't confirmed. All this is right now is a rumor. The rumor is they are in talks with Fox, who just got rid of SmackDown. I want you to keep that part of it in mind. And they have this show called AEW Shockwave coming to the Fox family.
Did they get rid of SmackDown, or did SmackDown just leave?
Well, I think it was a little bit of both. I think they didn't. I think SmackDown No, my guess. This is just my guess.
Yeah.
SmackDown was probably too much for them, for not enough. They weren't getting out of it what they thought they were getting. That was just my guess. It's like, oh,
So even
why
though
are we paying
WWE is
for-
on the hottest streak it's been on in decades and all that shit, Fox is going to be like, "Nah, we don't want them. We want this. We want this other show that nobody's going to watch."
we care about ratings and ticket attendances, so we're going to bring in AEW instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't AEW have a third show that nobody watched?
Well, they still have it. So they have right now on the lineup, they have, we're not going to count ROH. So they have Rampage, they have Collision. Those are the two shows that no one watches. And then
Dynamite.
they have Dynamite. So they're adding a fourth show.
Barely anybody watches that one too.
Yeah. So they have a fourth show coming in, and it is going to be Shockwave. Now, again, this is just rumor mill. I don't believe it, honestly, because again, why would Fox get rid of WWE for AEW? Doesn't make sense.
Unless it was WWE's choice to leave Fox.
Yeah, it could have gone either way.
And then now Fox needs to keep that wrestling audience.
Well, the thing is, from what the thing said was Fox wants to stay in the wrestling business. So I guess they just got to take AEW, but they didn't want to pay for.
Yeah, they want to stay in the wrestling business, but they don't want the number one wrestling business on their network. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, again, what they had to pay for, that goes into consideration.
But if what they're paying for is on the hottest streak it's been on in decades, it's not like they're paying for 10 years ago WWE.
True.
Or even 3 years ago WWE.
That's true.
They're getting record gates and ticket sales, and everybody's kissing babies. Got bracelets.
Bloodlines.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know why AEW would need another show, but they do have 9 million people.
That's just so dumb.
Speaking of AEW, there was a moment on Bobby Lashley's Instagram that he posted that I didn't capture. Oh, but I am able to pull it up here. We'll go over to Instagram, which you can follow us if you want to do that. We have one post over there, so that is good.
Promoting another social media that we're not active on.
We're going to get there. I'm locking in.
Christ will come back too. Keep saying it.
So Bobby Lashley, he posts this picture here. So if you can see it here, he is posing with the WWE title, the United States title, the Intercontinental title, the TNI title, and the ECW title. And the caption is, the journey is far from over. So people took this and said, oh, he's teasing AEW right there because he has titles and pictures. So
okay.
Yes, everybody made the jump that this is an AEW tease. So
okay,
there you go. I'm sure he will be in the AEW, so I won't be surprised
if he wants money and not, yeah. If he just wants the money, then yeah, we'll go to AEW.
And by the way, how's Ricochet working out over there? Just someone let us know, because
well, apparently he had a 5-star match against some fucker on Dynamite.
Well, that's the problem. He was just getting brought in to do matches. Now he's done his match, and he's now in a thing with the Beast Mortas, which I did call, by the way. I want to point that out. I called it. I said that was one of his dream matches, and I put that in quotes. One of the dream matches. He's gonna go over there and wrestle the Beast Mordas. And now it's happening. So we're not even a month in, and that's already Tony Khan is shooting the wad on that.
Don't even know who that is.
It doesn't matter.
Although I do remember, like, last time I looked at AEW, that Swerve Strickland was the champion, and I blinked, and Darby Allin's the champion now.
Daniel Bryan.
I thought Darby Allin was, because didn't John Moxley challenge him or something?
No, so Moxley is so Darby Allin has a title match coming up.
Oh, okay.
Moxley challenged him for that spot.
I see.
Because there's a hostile takeover that everybody thinks is Shane McMahon.
Yeah. Shane McMahon's gonna back the Nazi.
Yeah. Who suffocated Daniel Bryan with a plastic bag. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. People canceled them for that, but we're bringing in Bobby Lashley now.
So wait, they had a problem with the plastic bag, but they didn't have a problem with the syringe?
No, they had a problem with that too.
Oh, okay.
Basically, every spot
Everybody's
that
canceled.
AEW did.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a petition to get them off the network.
How'd that go?
I think they're still working on it.
Oh, good for them.
But it's been a week, so if those things don't happen immediately, it's kind of dead in the water.
Well, even when they do happen, and they don't do anything.
True.
It's not like I've yet to see somebody go, "Oh man, 100 million people said I shouldn't be doing this. Well, I better stop."
True. So yeah, AEW, they're bringing in Bobby Lashley, and in exchange, they are losing the Motor City Machine Guns. There was a report that they're signed, sealed, and delivered to WWE, and their debut is imminent to NXT. So that one, they signed with WWE, and we've talked about this so many times. This is like seems to have been rumored for like the last year. Probably not that long, but you get it. So yeah, they're going to WWE officially, and they're going to be in NXT, which that in itself caused a lot of, I can't believe the 20-year vets that is the Motor City Machine Guns are going to developmental. So,
well, even the Bloodlines in NXT now. So,
yeah, NXT is far from developmental now.
Well, I mean, I think the matches and stuff and who they have compete in NXT, that's still developmental, but I don't know. Like all the main roster people are on NXT.
Yeah, I mean, it seems from the outside looking in. I don't get to watch NXT week to week, so I don't know for sure. Like, I'm not in the weeds on it, but they hired the Motor City Machine Guns. They brought in Julia. Apparently, Julia is supposed to be the face of the company going forward, or for NXT. The little clips I've seen of Julia, seems like she is, getting the rocket strapped to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a Asuka type run. So, they brought in Julia. They got the Stephanie Vaquer. They got something named Delta. That's right. Go ahead and type away. I said something named Delta. I'm not going to pretend to know what Delta is, who Delta is. I don't like. There's this big thing on the internet. It's like, if you say something positive about Julia without knowing every match she's ever done, you're a poser. And Delta is also in that little list. Like, oh, you know shit about Delta. You're right. Thank you. But they got the Delta thing. They got Ethan Page. So all that to say, they're bringing in talent that aren't like NIL nobodies. They're hoping and praying to turn out to a superstar like Gable Steveson or that one Olympian they just signed that already got cut.
Gable Stevenson got cut by the Bills.
He did, so he didn't even make it to football. But he made it on the team, so that was, or the practice squad, that was good enough. Like he got in the door to get kicked out of the door. That's what I'm trying to say. Next up, another WWE signing. And this is someone that they're bringing back. They have signed a new Legends contract that is Armando Alejandro Estrada. And that would be the old manager to Umaga. And he had a little stint, as we just learned, from being the general manager of ECW. He, I guess, still is in the wrestling business, and he is signed to the Legends contract.
Good for him.
So good for him. And I was telling you off air, I think you bring him in, you pair him with Jacob Fatu, and we recreate the Umaga dynamic. I think we could do it. He'd be the mouthpiece. Jacob Fatu just like destroys people. I think that's some magic there.
Jacob Fatu destroying people is magic, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd be the mouthpiece. Maybe he's the mouthpiece for the new bloodline. That'd be a little bit much.
He'd be the new Paul Heyman.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely see where it goes with him. Hopefully he'll make it to TV and have a lot of help there. So I want to read this headline. We're not going to deep dive into this. As I saw what was happening with the story, I dipped my toe back out. But the WWE, they're in hot water. So as you saw, they had their debut on SmackDown, or SmackDown had his USA debut. They had a lot of the legends come back.
Mm-hmm.
One of the legends was Vickie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Which prompted a little bit of Twitter heat for Vickie Guerrero and for WWE. Why are they bringing her back? And I'm going to take you over to bodyslam.net. And the headline that bodyslam.net did for SmackDown's review, and this will tell you everything you need to know about this story. And let me go ahead and get it pulled up here. All right. We got it up. I could have just read it by this point, but I want to show it because I don't want you to think I'm lying here. So this is the headline. Vickie Guerrero takes a break from defending her daughter's alleged abuser to appear on SmackDown. Now, this is supposed to be a journalist, right?
Mm.
This is the headline. So if you do a little deep dive into this, and the link will be in the description if you guys want to go and read up on this. Apparently, Vickie Guerrero's daughter accused Vickie Guerrero's current husband of a little bit of the SA.
Which
assault.
Vickie Guerrero denied.
Yes, and Vickie Guerrero came back and said that it's not true. And I guess that's enough for her to be a villain. Because how dare you not take your daughter's side?
How dare you be there and know exactly what's going on?
Yeah, and take your daughter's side.
Nick Perkins has all the fucking information. Why talk to Vickie? Nick knows everything.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
So again, I don't want to deep dive into that whole thing because I don't know too much about it. Aside of those two things, the daughter said
there was an
said
accusation. Vickie squashed it down, and now everybody's pissed off at Vickie because we're supposed to automatically just believe this other bitch.
Well, it's 2024.
This
Innocent-
other bitch, she never appeared out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Well, we are now in a time where you're guilty until proven innocent. And then even if you prove innocent, most people are out at that point. So you're still guilty.
Yep.
It's like, oh, it proved like Enzo Amore, he got kicked out of the company. And then it proved that lady was lying. It proved it. Like I think even she said it. She was lying.
After the fact, yeah.
And then it was like, well,
although if you heard the story though, I mean, because apparently he had her locked in a hotel, allegedly in a hotel for like a weekend, and just repeatedly just had his way with her.
He was taking notes from Vince McMahon, I guess.
Yeah.
Vince
Like, it was
took
an
him under
awful
his
story.
wing. Yeah.
Like, she said she was injured. Like, he fucked her so hard she was hurt.
Jeez. But then they said it was a lie, all of it.
Yeah, but that was like after.
Yeah.
But when it was happening though, that the whole story, I don't know if there's anything else you could have done.
True, but yeah. But his name was cleared, and he's still not in the WWE, and he's still never be in the WWE.
Yeah, they could probably take the time to at least say like, "Oh,
it's so bad, the accusation."
Enzo's probably not as bad as we thought he was, or something.
Yeah, but nope. And then our last note here, ladies and gentlemen, the day we've all been waiting for is finally approaching. It is finally near.
Who's starting an OnlyFans?
No, not that one. Unfortunately. Yeah, I could say you would get there. The other day we've all been waiting for, and that is the announcement that Def Rebel's contract is upon us of expert. Golly, I don't know. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Def Rebel's contract, like the whole thing.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
The OnlyFans, this clickbait and everything.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I'm saying the way I built it up was like someone was starting an OnlyFans, and then they didn't. Anyway, Def Rebel, their contract is set to expire, and as the rumor mill goes, WWE is not going to be picking up that contract. So we are getting rid of the Def Rebel band or whatever they are. Now, if you don't know what that means, is Def Rebel is the group that makes all the bad music right now that no one likes. So they are on their way out. In exchange, it is said that WWE is going to be using more mainstream artists, like you heard on the debut of SmackDown with Nicki Minaj. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion, because they're different people. So WWE is going back to licensed music.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's necessary. Like, we just need wrestling music that fits the character. We don't need, I don't want to hear Journey. I don't want to hear.
Because AEW does that, and it's really distracting.
It doesn't fit.
Mm-mm.
Like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit.
Like,
it's too close to UFC, I guess.
Some wrestlers having, like CM Punk with Cult of Personality, that works. But then you have John Moxley coming out with the Wild Thing, trying to look like a badass. Wild Thing, and he's got a scowl. You make my heart sing. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't really go. And
Orange Cassidy uses Jefferson Starship, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And apparently Tony Khan pays a lot of money for those things.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's an unnecessary expense.
Because you're going to get like Post Malone. It's not even going to be good artists.
Well, yeah, it's going to be new artists, and I know exactly what they're trying to do because
Copy
right
AEW.
now, well, that too. Surprise, surprise. But right now, it's so popular. You know, Jay Uso comes out. There's fan involvement. Now Randy Orton, people sing along to his theme. They're just trying to create like fan involvement to help maybe get some of the people over more. Oh, if you got a song they'll sing, then you're pretty much over now. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Like, yeah. And also, yeah, you involve artists, so now you can cross over to the mainstream. Wait until someone walks out to, I don't know, Katy Perry or something. Fallout Boy, Linkin Park with their new bitch.
who apparently is like a Vickie Guerrero.
Yes, and also in a cult. This is just
Oh,
things
she's in
I've
a
seen
cult
on the
too?
internet. Well, she's part of Scientology,
Oh,
so
that's weird.
yeah,
How does that work?
I don't know.
Is the rest of the Lincoln Park Scientologists? Because I thought Scientologists could only hang out with Scientologists.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, they're gonna bring them in. But you don't need the licensed music, right? You can back
Jim
in
Johnson
the
didn't license music.
yeah, he made music like
Yeah.
Razor Ramon
You just need
fit
to
the character.
get a musician.
Yeah, get a musician, get a yeah. You don't necessarily need licensed vocals, but that seems to be the way they're gonna go.
I'm against it.
I don't like it either, but we'll see how it turns out for them. But as always, let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you into the music? Are you not? Let us know what you think of any of the other stories. And if you disagree with anything, let us know. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And until next time, top guys,